Hello, hello, my lovely sovereign sisters. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If you hear weird noise in the background, it's just the tea it's actually just hot water that's getting streamed through my Keurig. It's just because I have like some tea packets because I really, really want some mint tea. Okay. But anyway, welcome. Per usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, say hi in the chat, whatever way it is. And then if you're catching this after the live stream, please leave a comment on what you thought about the content. Please do not forget to thumbs up when you're in here. Okay, let's make sure that we like, because that way it's letting YouTube know that the content is good so I can make you all more content. So it seems as though everyone had liked the video that I did yesterday when we were talking about the top 10 professions that you should avoid. So I'm doing a second part to that tonight of 10 more professions that you should avoid or at least be mindful of, more than anything, and just kind of understand like what characteristics that they have on a psychoanalytical level. Don't be shy in the chat. Maybe it's people in here that aren't normally here. Because usually I'm used to people being in the chat already. But let me pull it up 1 second. Sorry guys, that's the Keurig. Okay. So 1 second. Okay, these are not going to be in like any type of particular order at all. They're not going to be in any type of particular order. So, um for whatever reason, I was watching Sex in the City and I remember with Miranda and Steve. So, I put Bartenders on the list. Um yeah, I don't know. I've had my fair share of bartenders that like I dated when I can see people in the chat. Why is my thing so weird? So sorry. Hello, hello. Um what professions are in the cover? So let me just start off with bartenders, okay? Bartenders are super charismatic, super flirty, okay? And like, let's just call it what it is. Like, they're around like drunk ass women all the time, like at night. You know what I mean? This is going to be more so for bartenders. This is going to be more so for girls that are like college age, because I do feel like when you're in college, there are a lot of like boys that go to college and they end up like working at like the local bar as a bartender. And so yeah, I would avoid those men at all costs. If you watch Sex in the City, you can see how much of a issue Miranda and Steve had, because Steve was a bartender. Okay, Steve was a bartender. So their job obviously revolves around alcohol. They have a lot of late nights. They're around a lot of flirty women. And I personally feel like men that are bartenders, they need a whole lot of validation. That's why they're getting into the job in the first place, okay? Because they want to have someone to talk to. When people are drunk, the women are drunk, they're going to be more vulnerable, they're going to be more open and things like that. But they're not loyal, they have no discipline, and they sure as hell have no financial stability. And so the divorce rate for bartenders is actually 52%. Okay. It's one of the highest among like the professions between today and what I did yesterday, too. So it's 52%. And bartenders are also 3 times more likely to struggle with substance abuse. So for pros, they are very, very good conversationalists. Obviously, that's how they're going to be able to make their money. They tend to be fun, they tend to be spontaneous. Obviously, they can make you great drinks. But for cons, their work schedule's all over the place because like they're working late into the night. So Yeah, you already know how that goes. They're at the bar until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And they're constantly around like a ton of temptation, that of which I don't ever really foresee them turning down. And then they're financially unstable because obviously when you're a bartender, you don't know like how much money it is that you're going to be making. It's not a steady type of income. I feel like the warning signs, bartenders will flirt with anyone. Like they'll flirt with women in front of you. They'll look at other women in front of you. Usually they tend to work with other women as bartenders as well because all bars and establishments also want women bartenders. So I also kind of feel like they're screwing around with them too. And usually they smell like liquor, like ugh, like they usually smell like liquor too. Okay, so then for the next one, y'all had brought it up yesterday because I told you guys that I had dated one of these myself. But the next one is a club promoter. So me personally, I had a great time with he was IT slash club promoter. So he was a club promoter, like he was actually doing it before I met him. And then when we got together, that was when he was working with IT, but he had all of his connections. He had all the same connections still. So even though he was working in like IT and working in tech, we were still going to the club, we were still getting sections, we were in the DJ section and all that stuff like that. Okay. Um excuse me. So a club promoter, okay, they're cunning, they're charming because their entire job is to pretty much get women into the club. That way men can come to the club. Okay. So they know how to make women feel special. They know how to make women feel like they're like the most important woman in the world. Um, Pretty much their charm is like the number one weapon that they use. Like I said, they're very cunning, they're very charming, and things like this. And he'll do this with different women on like every single night that he's working as a club promoter. From my hometown, believe it or not, from my hometown, I would say like the most attractive men that I knew from high school. Once we were into like our middle 20s, like I want to say 24, 25, 26. A lot of those real attractive men that I know, they all ended up becoming club promoters because obviously when they're attractive, more women are going to want to talk to them, and the women want to come to the club to see the men as well. So yeah, usually I feel like the men that are club promoters, they tend to be very, very attractive. The men that are club promoters, they like a lot of attention, they like a lot of clout, so I feel as though it doesn't really make them very good for serious relationships. Like I told you guys last night, even with my ex, I was just there. I was just there to get into clubs, to be honest. Okay. I was just there to get into clubs in the city. I grew up in a small town. I only was really afforded the life of being able to do stuff in the city on like the weekend, and my ex had like actually lived in the city. So I was just there because I wanted to like go to clubs and like party and like see what stuff was going out there in the city. So I feel like if you want to be able to like go to clubs and stuff like that, I don't even think the clubbing culture is like, I don't think it's even big anymore. The club culture, the bar culture, it's honestly kind of like died out, to be honest with you. But so for the statistics, okay, they're 60% more likely to cheat than men in traditional 9 to 5 jobs. Okay. 60% more likely to cheat because once again, they're in an environment where they're with a lot of women. The drinks are pouring. The women are wearing risque clothing. Okay. And, they're drinking. Everyone looks way more attractive. Everyone's dancing, all that stuff. It's much easier for them to cheat as opposed to working 9 to 5. And then they really don't even make any money. On average, I looked it up, they make hold on, they make $40,000 a year. Okay. But they always make a scene. They always come off like they make way more money than they do. You know what I mean? They always have on like their little suit and their little shoes or whatever, looking like Kevin Samuels, Timu Kevin Samuels, as a club promoter. So yeah. So pros, which I already mentioned, but they're well connected socially. So, like I said before, maybe there's something within your career. If you like trying to get into the entertainment industry, maybe you're trying to like, I don't know, sing or dance or something like that, and you want to get in front of a crowd, they're a great connection to have for that. You can rely on them to let you know what clubs or bars or events going on, and then they can obviously introduce you to like VIP section and experiences and stuff like that. I actually got to meet like a decent amount of like famous people when I was with my ex-boyfriend. So that was a perk as well because I got to meet a lot of a decent amount of famous people. So that was fun. Like I told you, they tend to be chronic clout chasers. They're surrounded by a ton of beautiful women and they tend to be unreliable and they're for sure emotionally unavailable. Uh Usually, so for the warning signs, disappearing on the weekends with no explanation, okay? Because I would always go to the club with my ex-boyfriend. I'd always go to the club with him. They're obsessed with social media and being seen, and like that shit used to annoy the crap out of me with my ex-boyfriend. Like he had all of the apps with like the music and the transitions and all this stuff, and I'm just like, bruh, like you are not popping for real. You are not popping for real. Like you want to be seen so bad. And then they tend to downplay how many women it is that he entertains. Okay. The next one. Okay, so the reason why I put this next one on the list is because I was watching Girlfriends. Why can't I remember the man's name? I can't remember the man's name, but he was the actor. He was the actor that Joan dated, and I fucking hated that guy because like he had a baby on her and he hid it from her, and like they had already like their encounter initially, like it wasn't even positive to begin with. Like they were arguing and fighting over a goddamn treadmill. So yes, Ellis. Yeah. Hold on. Let me grab my water real quick, my hot water, so I can drink my tea. I grabbed it. Yes, Ellis. I fucking hated Ellis. I fucking hated Ellis. I went to acting classes when I was younger. Um and you got to be quite a person to be an actor. um I mean, don't you guys ever notice that actors, they always hook up with who it is that they star in like a TV show or a gig with? They always end up hooking up with whoever it is that they work with. Like look at Ariana Grande, you know what I mean? Like she took a whole husband from a woman, like a whole husband from a woman, okay? It's like a thing with actors. They always end up hooking up with who it is that they're with. But okay, so psychoanalyzing actors, okay, they live in a world of fantasy, in a world of performance. And the biggest thing that's dangerous with actors is that their career is built pretending being another person. And so sometimes like there's some actors where if they tend to like be typecast, meaning that they always play the same type of role. So let's just say like if they play like a criminal or something like that, they will potentially end up being a criminal in real life because like I said before, the biggest thing is that I don't feel like men have the ability to be able to like cut their profession on and off and like know like what settings like it's appropriate to do what. They don't have that much range. And so I feel as though it will bleed into their relationship. Okay. Actors can be highly emotional because obviously you have to be emotional to be able to do that job, like crying on command, yelling, screaming. They're doing all types of things. They're doing schmexual acts. They're like punching people, body doubles, all those things. Uh, a very narcissistic. And then, of course, like they're validation seeking. I mean, their money is made from how many people view their work, watch their work. Yeah, like it's a validation seeking job for sure. And for the statistics, the divorce rate, it's about 50%. I mean, obviously we see that in Hollywood. Like these actors can't keep a husband or a wife for the life of them, you know what I'm saying? And they have high rates of personality disorders, particularly narcissism. They tend to be passionate and expressive, so, like, that is a pro. I do know that there were some women that had mentioned, um I think it was musicians that they had mentioned. So kind of the same thing. They tend to be very creative, very ambitious. They can be very romantic because I mean, especially if they have to play roles, like if they're a man and they're playing roles where they have like a love interest or they are the love interest of another woman, they can be very very romantic. For cons, they're insecure. Okay. They are insecure AF. I feel as though most actors, most men that are actors, they're insecure. They're always seeking validation. Okay. They tend to be prone to mood swings and emotional instability because, like I said before, they don't know how to like cut that shit on and off. Like they will play a character as like being someone dangerous and then be dangerous in real life because like they got into the role too deeply. And then also if you were the man and he has dreams of becoming an actor, you better get ready to build. You better get ready to build him up because you are gonna have to be like unstable financially for years before they make it. And like I feel like if you're with a man who has dreams to be an actor, you should break up with him because I've never really seen it play out in real life where men become actors and like they still end up staying with the woman that was with them when they had nothing. Like I don't know if you guys remember Jesse Williams. He is the I think he's biracial, but he had played in Grey's Anatomy. He was the lighter skinned man with the really, really light eyes. And his ex-wife like literally paid for everything for his acting career, like paid for everything in his acting career. And then he had hooked up with one of his, go figure, he ended up hooking up with one of his co-stars and then like him and his wife ended up getting a divorce. Like she poured all her money, all her time, all her effort into like facilitating his passions and his dreams. And then like, yeah, once he became like a famous actor, he ended up cheating. So for warning signs, I put that they like to overshare, okay? Because I have dated a man that was an actor or at least had aspirations of being like a big actor. They don't have much boundaries on their personal life, so I feel like they overshare very early. No financial stabilities, and like I don't know, their flirting style. I feel like their flirting style, depending on what type of like actor they are, it will just come from the movies. Like, and this is the thing with men too. Even men that like aren't actors, you would be surprised at how many men shape their personality based off of what type of like TV shows they watch. Because I do like to ask men that. What type of TV shows do you watch? What's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite movie? I always like to ask that because I feel like for me, it's a really good way to psychoanalyze what type of man it is that you are dealing with, in my opinion. Jaleel White, he's annoying in real life, like his character Steve Urkel. Passionate and expressive, but it's all a lie. Exactly. They're just acting. It's just a persona. It's not real. Yeah, married men are actors too. Yeah, exactly. Most actors don't know how to get out of character. I've dated a few. You never really know her. Yeah, like, yes, the green gray eyes bandit. Oh, yes, I remember. It was disgusting the way he did her. Yeah, like that woman poured everything. Like she poured everything into his ass and he fucking left her. Like the second that he got up there when it came to his career, he fucking left her ass. I was like, this is why you should never build a man. These men that want to be the next rapper, the next actor, like the next NBA player, man, they could do it on they could do it on their goddamn own time. Nope, Hey, I'm at the club right now. Not you watching me while while you watching me while you're at the club. I feel so loved. I feel so loved. Hello, Queen in chat. What happened to your Kendrick Lamar upload? I don't see it on your Patreon. So I didn't save the video. I have to do it as like a separate, I have to do it as like my own video. So I'm gonna do it. I just haven't done it yet. But I will upload it to my Patreon, but I got rid of it on here because I didn't want any issues. I don't want them shadow banning my channel. I just ended up doing away with it because they clipped everything anyway. So it was really no point in me having it on. So it'll be on Patreon. And then also if you all don't follow me on Patreon, I have the link in the description. So far, I just have one tier. Okay. So the tier is $7. It's kind of like sprinkle sprinkle. I'll be honest with you. Okay. The $7 tier is sprinkle sprinkle. Okay. So I teach you dark femininity, how to manipulate. Because I was a stripper, I do know that I have schmex workers that follow me. So if you are a schmex worker, or you work in the type of field where men are your target audience, so maybe you're a hostess, maybe you're a bartender, things like that. I also like give tips of like seduction and things like that. And then I also have an ebook. I have a male validation traps ebook that also is included in the Patreon. So it's $7. I do have plans of adding two more tiers. I do have plans of adding two more tiers, but the other two tiers will be more like self-improvement tiers. They will, so like your self-esteem, book club, journal club, things like that to like help your growth. Okay. Let me see. I would always think an actor is faking their personality, but what man doesn't? 95% of men are unpaid actors anyway. 95% of men are unpaid actors anyway. Like Nick Cannon even said this. Nick Cannon was like, I could paint myself and I can be whoever it is that I want the woman to believe it is that I am. So men are already unpaid actors. So if you're dealing with someone who's actually an actor and he's getting paid to be an actor, you're really in for a ride. You're really in for a ride because he has this shit down packed to the point where he's getting paid to do it. You know what I mean? So actors, mm-mm. What do you think about a man who likes to watch thrillers and likes to be scared? Men that watch thrillers and men that like horror movies and stuff like that. Men like that scare me, okay? Because that means that they like adrenaline, okay? That's the reason why people that they like horror movies and those like paranormal movies and thrillers and stuff like that. The demographic of people that like those type of movies is it's because they are adrenaline junkies. And so I kind of feel like, okay, well, if you like movies that are like that, what else is it that you like to do where it's gonna like fuel your adrenaline and you're gonna be an adrenaline junkie? For me personally, I don't like men that like scary movies. Because I don't like them. I don't like them. Jaleel harbored some resentment with women in his book, very manospheric. Oh, yeah, Jaleel White from Family Matters, Urkel. I think he's married now. I think Jaleel White is married to a white woman. I'm pretty for sure he married someone with his same last name. Because I think he's married now, if I'm not mistaken. Urkel. Urkel. Okay. So for the next one, also, can we get the likes up before I keep going, please? Let's get the likes up. Almost. Let's like get to like 30. I know the live just started. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. It's very important that you said you'd ask them about their movie genre. I asked a guy I was seeing and he said he loved hardcore fighting, breaking bones and gore. I blocked him immediately. Mm-mm. So the tea that I'm drinking, it's this organic peppermint green tea. It's only 9 milligrams of caffeine in each one, so it's not even 20 milligrams like in this cup. But I like things that have like peppermint or mint inside of them because it's really good for your digestion. And I just love like the taste of mint. I love the freshness of it. When we're home, when I'm back home, my mom and my grandmother, Oh my god, they like plant all these vegetables and like in the very front of the house. Like it's mint all over the place in the summer and in the springtime. So what I like to do is I'll chew on the mint leaves and then I also juice. Hi, hello friends. Je m'appelle Queen. um I will use the mint and I will juice them. It takes a lot, it takes a whole lot of mint for you to even taste the actual mint for you to drink. Oh, from Japan. Is konnichiwa? Konnichiwa, I think is Japanese, right? um Thank you. I'm about to make spearmint tea. It helps with PCOS. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Thank you. Next thing you know, he would become violent towards me. Yeah, I feel like it's important to ask men what type of like what their favorite movie, what their favorite TV show is, and then I also feel as though you should ask men what their favorite music is. That'll tell you a lot. That'll tell you a lot about a man. What about men on video games at night? I don't date men that play video games. Mm-mm. I don't date men that play video games. And this is the reason why. The reason why I don't date men that play video games is because, okay, so this is like another thing too. What type of video games is he freaking playing? Okay, that's the first thing. What type of video games is he playing? Because when they're playing those video games and they are like violent and things like that, no, like 100% no. Then when they're playing things like NBA and Madden and 2K and all that stuff too, I feel as though men that play those video games, it makes them think that they're being more productive than they really are. It is. I feel like it makes them feel like they're being way more productive when they really are because like it's a simulation when they're doing those like more reward type games where it's like sports. And so I don't deal with men that play video games. If it were me, I would avoid men that play video games, at least on a serious level. If you want to just date them and just like, fool around with them and stuff like that, for sure. And someone even said it, it's a form of escapism. I never met a man who played video games that didn't have another vice: drinking, smoking, corn. Like they on top of them playing video games, there's something else that they're doing on top of them playing video games. It's something that they're doing on top of playing video games. They're not just only doing that. But thank you for the super chat, Maria. I appreciate it. Queen, I just subscribed to your Patreon this week. I've been loving your content so much the past couple weeks. You helped me break up with some I shouldn't have been with. Yes. 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 Let's give it up for Taylor, everyone. She broke up with someone that she had no business with. Okay. She broke up with somebody she had no business with. That's what it's all about. Okay. Um, you, listen, there these men when y'all over I always say don't let a man overstay his welcome. Don't let a man overstay his welcome. I'm actually going to do a video tonight on Patreon talking about how men siphon your energy as a woman, because that's important because men use a lot of manipulative tactics to be able to summon a woman's energy. So I'll be doing a video when I'm done with the live tonight talking about that because that's important. Okay. And I feel like a lot of women end up with men and they end up being very they're used, they're exhausted, they're tired, and it's because these men are out here summoning your energy. You know what I mean? Because we're the life source, you know what I mean? So they're going to do everything they can to try to siphon your energy. That way they have more energy. That way they can go to work and talk to other women and go to the gym and things like that. Video games are very childish and violent. Like, grow up, bro. I agree. Because here's the thing, I used to play video games growing up. I did. I used to play video games growing up. I actually played video games in high school. So I played Xbox. I had a gamer tag. There were some guys that they went to a different high school than I did, and we would play like 2K. I remember I would play like Red Dead Redemption and things like that in high school. So I actually used to game. But once I was done with high school, I quit doing it. I did. I quit doing it. I feel like if I were to get into any type of video game again, it would just be The Sims. I mean, honestly, it would just be the freaking Sims. So yeah. Video games, and especially when they're older too. Once a man is like when men are 30 plus playing video games, I'm like, grow the fuck up. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, come on. Like, no, no. Men that play video games are dusty. Men that are obsessed with rap should be avoided. Rap is a handbook on how to mistreat women. I agree. When men tell me that their favorite genre is rap, I'm just like, no. Mm-mm. The nicest, kindest men that I've met, they tend to like R&B, jazz, or country. R&B, jazz, or country. That's usually what my ear is like. That's what my ear is ready to receive for them to tell me what it is that they like. If they don't say one of those three, no, no. It's a form of escapism. Yep. Concerning music, could you go a little deeper? I never thought to be concerned about their music choice. Yeah, so the thing about it is this on a subconscious level, okay? It's subconscious. So people don't realize that the words you speak, the images you view, the words you hear, all of those things, it's subconscious programming. That's the reason why they call it like television programs, okay? They call it television programming because it's acting on your subconscious, okay? You don't realize it, but it's acting on your subconscious. So when a man is listening to rap music, what do they talk about in rap music? They talk about harming women. They talk about criminal activities such as selling things, selling narcotics and all those type of things. They're talking about R wording women. Like come on, like Rick Ross, like um put Molly all in her drink. She didn't even know it. Like what? Like when you go back and you listen to these like rap lyrics, it's like, oh my gosh, like no wonder why these men are so violent. No wonder why these men are so like crazy. And I can't remember the black woman's name, but like back when like NWA and like all those rap artists, she was like a feminist and like she was trying to put her foot down on this music. She was trying to put her foot down on this music. And I kind of feel as though like the men, like the modern men that we see now, the reason why they're so terrible is because of all of that music that they have been listening to. You know what I'm saying? Because rap music is about 50 years old. It is. It's about 50 years old. So it's really not that old. So I feel like the younger generations, like I feel like epigenetics plays a part into it as well. So that's another reason why I feel like the level of misogyny is a lot higher. So rap music, nope. All video game players should be avoided. Like there are so many outlets for men. Why not play the actual sport instead of sitting in front of a screen for 6 hours? That's what I'm saying. These men that play these video games, they'll tell you shit like, I would be an NFL star right now, but I twisted my ankle in sixth grade when I was playing flag football. And so now I can't be the next Michael Strahan because of that. Like, it's like projection. And that's why I said for them, it feels like they're actually doing it. It's like, go out there and actually like get with your friends, like your male friends, and like actually go throw a football as opposed to playing a video game. I feel like video games also, in my opinion, is what facilitated the male loneliness epidemic. It's one of the reasons that is facilitating the male loneliness epidemic because the same sport that you're playing, like you could get together and do it with people. Like I know, like the men that I know that don't play video games, they literally will like get on Facebook and be like, hoop session at the YMCA. Like they literally will plan like an actual like basketball game or like a football game during like the summer and stuff like that and actually go and do it, not play it on a goddamn game. That makes no sense. Side note, asking with men who play video games, older men who text more than they talk. Yeah, I hate that. I have no patience for video games, not rewarding. Yes. I love the fact that you school women so they are not out here being delusional. Thank you, Queen. Ah, of course. It stunts their maturity and they play video games to avoid their diabolical behavior. Exactly. What if he likes religious music? Religious, okay. So I didn't even put religious men in like my like pastors and stuff like that. I didn't even put that in my list of like professions or people to avoid This is what I believe, okay? This is what I believe. I believe that very few men that claim to like religious music or they're religious or they're Christian and things like that. I think that women need to stop going for men just because they claim that they're religious or they like religious music. Because when you dismantle like the Bible, like let's just keep it real, the Bible is patriarchal, okay? The Bible is freaking patriarchal. So they're saying, like, oh, I listen to this music and I love God, I love God. These are the same men who are cheating. These are the same men who are unfaithful. These are the same men that are scheming and conning and scamming and doing all those things. So I would proceed with caution when a man tells you that his favorite music is religious, because I feel like religion is like how men use like women as beards to like cover their actual sexuality. Like they'll get married as a heterosexual man, but they'll have the woman as a beard to cover the fact that they actually are attracted to men. I feel like that's what a lot of men do using religion to hide their cheating, their philandering, them being a womanizer and stuff like that. And girl, the reason why I know is because I got somebody like that in my family. I got somebody like that in my family. And every time I've like dealt with someone that was, listen, I had a pastor. Listen to this. I had a pastor in a strip club. Pastor in a fucking strip club. Pastor in a strip club that would come to see me. One of my cousins passed away. The pastor, who's married, who went to high school with my mom, so the man is literally like 50 years old, he hit on me at the funeral. We're burying my cousin, and he comes up to me and says, "Oh my gosh, you look absolutely gorgeous." And my mom was like, "Didn't I go to high school with you?" And he shut up real quick. He shut up real quick. These pastors, these men that are hyper religious and all in this God and Christian and da da da, it's fake. 90% of it, it's fake. He was spending the church's money in the club. Exactly. Exactly. To use the religion against them when they're selective hearing. Exactly. This religious man will cheat and then say, "Oh, I'll just ask for forgiveness." Exactly. I'll repent. I'll repent and be forgiven. Oh God, religious church going men are the most violently, critically abusive people. I've experienced it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And that's the thing too. Usually, this is why I tell women, like when it comes to religious men, you got to really be careful because the hopes are always high for religious men. The hopes are always high for religious men. They let you down the worst. They do. They let you down the worst. My ex-husband was a Muslim. Whoo, child. Whoo, child. Those Muslims, child. Any woman who's been married to a Muslim, who I commend you. I commend any woman that's been married to a Muslim before, because child, oh my goodness. Those Muslims are crazy. Those Muslims are absolutely crazy, and they're dangerous. They're misogynistic. They're controlling. Whoo, they're crazy. Men have no shame hitting on you at funerals, shaking my head. It is not the time nor place for that. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. It's like, I'm burying my cousin. Why are you hitting on me? And why are you hitting on a woman who is 20 fucking years younger than you? Like 20 fucking years younger than you. You think I'm about to cry in your arms because you're the pastor and you're married? Yep, look at his lifestyle. That will be yours. Yep. You can convert a non-believer if he really likes you. Choose a guy that provides the lifestyle that you want to live. Exactly. These are the same men having ex before marriage. Yep. I'm glad we're exposed to different things, even Muslim men. Yeah. Say no to Christian mingles. 35-year-old into comic books. What the fuck? Okay, so you guys want to know something? You guys want to know something? So, I would say a large majority of like the provider men that I dealt with, a lot of the men that were provider men that I dealt with, they were into comic books, they were into wrestling, and they were into like collecting like cards, collecting like figurines and stuff like that. Like there was one guy that was a provider. He had like a mansion, okay? He had like a mansion. But he was creepy. He was creepy, okay? He was creepy. He was like the creepy photographer archetype. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Those like photographers that like prey on women pretty much. He essentially was one of those, and he had a whole room that was dedicated to WWE stuff. He had the belts, he had signed belts, he had signed figurines, he had collectibles. He would go to like he would go to WrestleMania in Florida every single year. But he was paying those bills. So I just put up with it, I guess. Especially if the man is over 30 years old. Why are you texting me so much? Child, I had one guy that was 65 years old. He was texting me. He was putting the 100 emoji and everything. He wanted to be young so bad. And I was like, I need these bills paid. So I'm gonna be like, oh, I was stroking his ego, making him feel young as hell. But he would only text me, never call me. And he was using all the emojis. He wanted to be young so bad. Very true. I knew a guy that loved to listen to really nasty, raunchy reggae music. He mimicked that really consciously, very negative person. Yeah, it's disgusting. Tupac called her so many names and gaslit her so badly. Texting more than talking is a big red flag. Yes. Country is all about cherishing family and women. Yep. Country, men who like country are sweeter. I agree. Side note, asking with men who play video games older. Okay, I already read that one. Okay, Maria said masculine Italian men too controlling. Okay, masculine, not masculine, Italian men. Okay, so I've definitely dealt with Italian men. I've never had any Italian man that I felt was controlling toward me. But Italian men are hoes. Like you're gonna for sure get cheated on. If your boundary is like cheating and you don't want to get cheated on, I would not deal with an Italian man because Italian men, they're gonna stick it in anything and everything. They're not faithful. They're sexy, they're nice, they're charming. I feel like at least the ones that I dealt with, like they were generous, but they're gonna cheat on you for sure. They're for sure going to cheat on you. Oh, hoteps. Oh, hoteps, Lord. Oh my gosh. I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't do those hoteps. Mm-mm. I need to know about the video game boys. Well, I already talked about the video game men. It's a form of escapism. And it's them avoiding what it is that they really want to do with their life. All these men do is text you to death. Being a good conversationalist is not them. Dating is really done. That's like another shit test that I do. So when a man is like texting me, I will ask him to call me. I'll ask him when he's free. So you can't ask him to call you. You have to ask him, like, what are you doing tonight? And if he says like, oh, well, I'm not doing anything tonight, yada yada yada, you can be like, I would love to hear your voice. I would love to hear your voice, and I really would appreciate it if you called me. Let's say we chat tonight at like 8 o'clock, or even FaceTime. You could do phone call or FaceTime. If he doesn't call you, if they don't call me, I don't talk to them anymore. If they don't call me, I don't talk to them anymore because it's something that they're hiding. That mean, if they don't want to call you on the phone, how do you think that they're going to be when you're sitting across from them on a date? How do you think they're going to be across from you on a date if they don't even want to pick up the goddamn phone to call you? I used to play video games with my brothers. I haven't dated men who were into video games, but they were into superhero movies. One man told me that if she doesn't know how to do admin work, pay bills, write letters, he ain't dating her. She has to do the household management. Like, if she wasn't there, who would be doing the household management? Who would be paying the bills? Who would be writing the letters? He would be doing all of that. So what difference does it make? It's like men, they just want a slave. Like they literally just want a slave. They just want a freaking slave. Because if you weren't there, he would be the one doing it still. And thank you for the compliment. He would be the one doing it still. So it's like you just want a woman in your life to just make your life easier while you're putting all of this extra work on her. It makes no sense. Keep up with his MD appointments and grocery list. See, no, no, mm-mm. MD appointments, grocery list. How old are you? Like, how old are you? Like, grow up. Men are actionary. If they want the woman, they will never forget to call. Exactly. If they really, really want to deal with you, they're gonna call you. So that's a shit test that I always do before I go on a date with somebody. If you don't call me, we're not going out on the date. That's a real easy way for you to not waste your time. If he don't want to call you, don't waste your date. Don't waste your time going on a date with him. Most of them prefer texting over a conversation with you, is most likely married, stupid, has a girlfriend, or all three. Rationality doesn't fit into a man's character. My ex is a big Mexican guy, and he was always asking me to tell him who loves you, who buys you a phone case, who takes care of you. Monetary was not a high dollar contributor, attention whore. One of my exes used to do that. Like I said yesterday, I would go over to his house on the weekend. Well, who pays the bills? Who has the heat? Who has the AC? It's like, bro, I'm just here chilling on the weekend. Like, I live with my parents. Like, I'm going to go back home to my parents. Like, you're literally going to try to call yourself a provider because I'm hanging out with you on the weekend. Like, who drive? He didn't have a car. He didn't have a car because he lived in the city. Who's driving us around to the grocery store? Who's driving us around to see your family that lives like 30 minutes away? Who's driving to the club and all these places and the restaurants and all these things? But you're going to try to make it seem as if I should be grateful because you let me come over to your house. You want to sleep with me, right? You want to sleep with me, right? Where if I don't come over to your house, where are we going to sleep? You're going to pay for a hotel when you're paying rent at your place? Like, come on. Like, they want to make you be grateful for just dumb shit. Like, dumb shit. A phone case? A phone case? You want me to be grateful for a fucking funky ass $12 phone case? Oh God, no. These men done lost their minds. These men done lost their goddamn minds. Hate when they want a reward for spending money on you. And girl, it don't be money. That's the thing. It don't be money. It be lint. It be lint that they're spending. It don't be money. It be lint. It ain't even enough money that they're spending for it to be considered money. Like, when I'm thinking money, you should have spent like $1,000, like minimum. Once it's $1,000, then it's considered money. Anything under $1,000 is lint. It's coal. It's nothing. It's not worth anything. TikTok and YouTube, the girls have awoken. Yes, I am catching on and have went deep silent. They cheap and don't want to pay for ish. Exactly. Hate when they want a reward for spending money on you. Men think that if he invites her and she sees a mess, she should clean up ASAP. Mm-mm. One thing I will say though, with like the men that I've dated, I pretty much have always been in a relationship with, they have to be a clean freak. They have to be a clean freak and they have to cook. So usually I ask men, what is your favorite thing to cook? I always ask them that. What is your favorite thing to cook? The men usually offer to cook it for me. Like, every single man that I've been in a relationship with, they've always cooked for me. One of my exes, he heard my stomach growling at 3 o'clock in the morning. He woke us up and he was like, I'm going to make you some food because I can't let you sleep and your stomach is growling like this. Like, and he made me food at 3 o'clock in the morning. One thing about me, I'm not doing no labor. I'm not doing no fucking labor at all. No. I'll only cook if it's something that I want to eat and both of us want to eat it. I have no problem cooking like that. But when a man is telling me that his expectation of me is to cook, no, we won't be moving forward. We will not be moving forward. Yep, you never question if they like you. Make it clear. Most of them that prefer texting over a conversation with you. Okay, I read that one already. You're lucky. That was a thoughtful man. Clean men are the best. They're the ultimate cleaners. And he was a clean freak too. But he was narcissistic and unfortunately, he was honestly like the best relationship that I had. He was the best relationship that I had, but he got jealous once I started making more money than him. And like, I always clean up after myself. And like, one time I was at work, y'all, he sent me a picture and it was this tiny ass crumb on the floor. And he was like, you forgot to clean this. You forgot to clean this before you left the house. Then his ass wasn't working because he got fired. And whenever I would spend the night at his house, and then it would be snowing. His ass wasn't working, and I would go to my car, and he wouldn't like wake up to clean off the snow off of my car. I'm like, oh my God, I have to break up with you. I have to break up with you. It's great that I'm not cooking. It's great that, I'm not having to clean or do anything like that. But you're texting me over dumb little shit like a crumb that was left on the floor. And then you're sleeping, not working, and you're not walking me to my car. You're not doing anything. Y'all, I used to purposely do shit to piss him off too. I used to purposely do shit to piss him off. Like one time we got into an argument and I walked outside. I walked outside in my robe and he was like, "You're walking outside in your robe. How dare you? What's wrong with you?" He was so mad that I walked outside in my robe. I used to do every little thing to piss him off back. Yes, it's giving American Psycho. He was in touch with his feminine side. It's those damn cancers. It's those damn cancers. I attract cancers majorly because I'm a Capricorn. So I don't have much emotion. I'm pretty emotionally void overall. So cancers kind of like balance me out. They're very emotional, very feminine, things like that. Like one time he cried and everything. Like he cried to me multiple times. I'm a Gemini. That's all I attract. I don't think I've been with any Geminis. I don't cook for no man, order or take me out. Exactly. If not, I move on to the next, just like their attitude is with us. Exactly. You ain't ever got to worry about cooking or cleaning if you are with a man who cooks and clean. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Pastors, hell no. Pastors, hell no. Absolutely no pastors. Hire a cook. Exactly. Clean men are the best. They're the ultimate cleaners. Yes. Every man that I've been in a relationship with, their interior designing, so their bed, the whole interior design of their house, I'm like, is it a woman living in this bitch? Okay, they'll have candles, they'll have a nice bedspread and all that. Those are the type of men that I like to be in a relationship with, majorly. I had a guy that took me to a concert and saw his ex and said I should have thanked him for not talking to her. See, that's why I said men going against their nature to talk to other women, they want you to be grateful. And it's like no one's forcing you to do this. No one's forcing you to do this. If you feel as though it's such an obligation for you to not talk to other women, for you to not hit up other women, for you to not look at other women to the point where you have to remind me that I should be grateful for that, you just go be single. Go be single. I'm not going to sit here and reward you for the bare minimum. You chose to be in a relationship. That's what come along with the relationship. I'm not going to I'm not going to be grateful for the bare fucking minimum. Like no. I would have been like, "Well, you know what? Now you don't have to worry about me caring at all. You can go talk to your ex because I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore." If they have to throw what they do for you in your face, it's a wrap. Exactly. That's a good rule of thumb. $1,000 plus, sir. Yeah. I'm telling you, $1,000, that should be like your $1,000. That's how much he needs to spend for him to be worthy. I'm sorry. That's how much he has to spend for him to be worthy. Because just think, if you guys go on 5 fancy dates to the point where like each bill is $200, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000. He spent $1,000. Okay, paying a bill, him buying you something that you want, it should be $1,000. I don't take men seriously until they spend $1,000. Like I remember I spent the night over one of my ex-boyfriend's house and my car got towed. He paid for that shit. So right off the bat, the first few times that we went out, he already had spent like $500 within like two or three dates when you count him paying for my car getting towed. My ex told me about how hard it is to date now because most women want more than a coffee date. Keep it up, ladies. Good. Good. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that we're making it hard for them. He needs to buy me a house car. That's what I'm talking about. I like to travel, so he's got to take me on a trip. He got to take me on a trip. I don't care about a house or a car because I want to be all over the place. I don't want to be stuck in one spot. You got to take me out on a trip. My ex took me out on a trip. Cancer men are sensitive for sure. They are not afraid to be in touch with their feminine side, which is good to embrace that instead of repressing emotions. I completely agree. I do. I completely agree. Up, we got a man in here. Why are black women ashamed to wear their natural hair? You want to see my natural hair? Look, this is you gotta be when like here's my thing. Sorry, but I'm happy that I have a man in here because I'm petty today and I feel like being petty today. Be with a man. Go be with a man. Like as women, we're taught to learn our makeup and to do our hair. This is what comes along with being a woman. Let women be women. If you don't like the hair, if you don't like the makeup, guess who doesn't wear fake hair? Guess who doesn't wear makeup? Men. If you go deal with a man, you'll never have to worry about him wearing makeup or him wearing fake hair. It's 100% foolproof. You want to be with a man. You don't want to be with a woman. This is what women do. We wear earrings, we get our nails done, we get our hair done, we wear makeup. This is what women do. If you don't like what women do, and if you don't like how women have been conditioned to care about our upkeep, why are you talking to women? Why are you talking to women? You're gay. You don't like women. You don't like women. As if I'm not draping. As if I'm not draping. Let me shut this fool up. Why do you get a haircut? Why do you get a haircut? Why you get a haircut? Why you get a lineup? Why you get new gym shoes? Why do you do that? Why do you go work out? Like they're gonna shame a woman. They're gonna shame a woman for her upkeep. But don't you go get new shoes? Don't you get a lineup? Don't you get a haircut? Do women wear high heels to psychologically manipulate men to feel insecure about their height? If it's just you're insecure already, like we wouldn't have to wear heels. It would just mean you're insecure already about your height. Like, no, once again, women wear high heels, just like how men wear sneakers. If you're insecure about your height, how come you don't wear high heels? How come you don't wear high heels? As a man, you're taught to wear gym shoes, right? You're taught to wear gym shoes, right? How come you don't wear high heels? How come you don't wear high heels? That way you won't have to worry about any insecurity if a woman is taller than you. Go wear high heels. It's always a man hopping in here, mad, upset, dusty. This is my hair when it was the longest. That's all me. That's all my fucking hair. All my fucking hair. Like they think that because you're wearing a wig, you have no fucking hair. They think because you're wearing a wig, you don't know how to grow your own hair. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. All my hair. All my hair. That's all my hair. Just jealous. Just jealous. Like you don't like women. That's really what it is. You don't like women. Aw, Queen has hang time. You're beautiful. Thank you. Does that include a use pre? He put the work in. I don't know what she's saying. Why do you come to a woman's chat acting a fool? They also get their beards and hairlines painted. Right, all that bajan, all that black to fill in the patchy ass beards that they have. Come on. Come on. You no. Mm-mm. When men judge women off their makeup and hair, automatically they're gay. Automatically they're gay. I've never been with a man who hated me wearing makeup, who hated me wearing wigs, who hated me wearing heels. Like, come on. Men want you to wear heels in the fucking bedroom. Okay? Men want you all cute, looking good. So when they take you out, it can be all eyes on them. It's weird. It's giving DL, it's giving I like men, it's giving I don't like women. He can't afford you. Exactly. Exactly. At the barbershop, they call it enhancements. Like, call it what it is, makeup. Exactly. It's fucking makeup. All right, let's go to the next profession. Oh shit, hold on. No. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm just gonna do it off my phone, I suppose. Okay, so the next one is musicians and rappers. I think you guys mentioned this last I think someone mentioned musicians and rappers last night. Their dreams are big. They want you to build with them. They want you to promote their whack ass music and their SoundCloud and all this stuff. And a lot of men that want to be rappers and musicians, they 100% fully rely on a woman to build them up. They want you to clap for them. They want you to play their music and stuff like that. It It's honestly comical. It's comical when thankfully there's never been a man that's told me that he wanted to become a musician or was a musician or wanted to become a rapper. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. A man having aspirations of becoming a musician or becoming a rapper, it's the same aspirations that women have trying to become the president. Like, that's how much work it takes. That's how far out of reach it is for them. Like, no one wants to listen to your fucking SoundCloud. Like, you don't know how to rap. You're really not all that smooth. You can't sing. No. Mm-mm. Um, 78% of independent musicians earn less than $10,000 a year. Okay, 10% to $10,000 a year. $10,000 a year that independent musicians make. They're broke. They make no money. Okay, they make no money whatsoever. No. Mm-mm. And then musicians have a 60% higher likelihood of infidelity due to their nightlife environment. Pretty much any man in the nightlife is going to be infidelity. Like, it's going to be infidelity. It's going to really be infidelity with men all the way around, to be honest. But it's like guaranteed when they work in the nightlife. Okay. When I was working in Georgia, y'all listen to this. I was working in Georgia, right? One of my coworkers, she started working in the department with me. She used to be traveling for work. So anyone that knows, if you are a traveling healthcare professional, you make guap, okay? You make fucking money, okay? And I stayed traveling. This woman, this woman stopped traveling because her husband is a musician. She went staff for her musician husband because her husband asked her to. Her musician husband asked her to. So I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you took a pay cut and now he gets to be on the road and now y'all will have less income coming in for you to stay back in Georgia for him to go achieve his dreams as a musician because he doesn't want you out on the road all the time? I was like, girl, I can't. I never heard of it. I never heard of it. I would never. I would fucking never. For a musician? Oh no. Oh no. It feels like they are trying to lock you in that damn car, forcing you to listen to that shitty mixtape. Exactly. Exactly. Blasting it in the shower so you gotta hear it when it's in what you gotta hear it in the shower. Oh God. Oh God. Or wearing a man unit. These men want an employee. He's probably balding. Why not just get a woman who doesn't wear wigs? Why try to change a woman? And you want to know what's even funnier? Look at this, y'all. That's my natural hair. That's my natural hair when it was dyed blonde. That's my fucking natural curly hair. That is my natural curly hair when I was a blonde. Okay, so for the pros for musicians, they're passionate, they're creative, of course. They can be romantic and expressive. I feel like this is how they get a decent amount of women, especially if they can sing. Oh my god, my old sugar daddy, my 65-year-old sugar daddy, child, he would sing to me and everything else. He wasn't a musician, but I used to crack up cuz I'm like, "You're old ass singing to me, like goodbye." Um, and then they're good at setting a mood with music. So, they're gonna put on the bedroom playlist and all that stuff. They tend to have a really good ear for music. Obviously they're broke, they're financially unstable, so that's obviously a con. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. They're usually emotionally unavailable and very narcissistic. They have groupies, attract groupies. Most of the time, the reason why men want to become like musicians is because they want groupies. They want validation. They want attention from women. Okay. I don't believe they actually want to do it because they like the music. Like they might enjoy it, but I feel like a lot of it is because they want to have access to multiple women. Okay, warning signs. They're talking about making it big. They want to be famous. They have big dreams, but they have no real plan. Like there was one guy, he actually could rap. I'm not gonna lie, he actually could rap. He actually had like a job, but he actually could rap. And like he showed me like his notebooks and all that stuff. The dude could actually rap. He could. And I was like, well, you really like to rap. Like, are you gonna get into like a studio? Like, what are you like gonna do? He had no fucking plan. He had no fucking plan. He was like way too afraid to like ask for help or to like save up money for him to like get studio time. And I'm like, "Psh, you aren't serious enough." Um, if they're constantly in the studio and they're not getting any results, okay, they're wasting all that studio time, all that studio money, nothing. Okay, they're not getting one single hit off of their music. It's trash. And then with them, they a lot of these men are just hobosexuals. They're just looking for a woman to financially support them while they try to achieve their dreams of becoming a musician most of the time. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let me look through the chat. Is nursing the only health profession that allows us to travel? Anything medical is going to allow you to travel. So I did ultrasound, x-ray, CT, MRI, probably physical therapy, occupational therapy, pretty much anything medical, you will be able to travel because the good thing about the medical field is that it's not like law. Like there's no jurisdictions or state laws or anything like that. Anything medical, you'll be able to travel. They have mission work in other countries that you can do. People do that when they go into the military. So they do the military, then they go into nursing, and then they do like mission work in another country. Obviously, if you do anything in tech, you could work from your computer and then be able to travel anywhere you want to while you still have a steady job because you're just working from your computer or working from your phone, content creating. You're working from your phone, working from your computer, still have the freedom to travel to wherever it is that you want to be able to be at. I just said that earlier. They want an employee hostage by emotion. Yep. It was so annoying being supportive of someone not as talented as they thought they were. Exactly. Auto tune SoundCloud. I don't want to hear your mixtape. I ain't a fan. What the F? He wanted me to buy his merch and download music. Like, go ask your fans to download merch and buy your music. Like, even with my content creating, I didn't even ask my best friend to support my content. I didn't ask anyone that I knew to share or do anything for me. Because at the end of the day, if it's not the people that you're friends with, your family, you should only care about the people in your target audience. I'm not going to ask the men that I know, "Oh, can you share my content? Can you watch my content?" No, because they're not my target audience. Like they'll be a rapper knowing that you like R&B. I don't want to listen to this shit. I'm it's not for me. Market this shit to people that actually like the type of music. Just because I'm with you doesn't mean that I'm indebted to like this shit because I don't like it. I would be faking it anyway. Like I'm not going to give someone fake support. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give someone fake support. The merchandise is trash. The music is trash. I don't like it. Go ask the people that will like this shit because I won't like it. These men want an employee man wearing a unit. Hey y'all, good evening. I'm late to class. Welcome. Working graveyard shift is a playground to cheat. Yes. They will hold you emotionally hostage if you sponsor their emotional career. And honestly, they'll resent you too. Anytime a man is asking you to build him up, he's going to resent you. He's going to resent you. I'm telling you, he's going to resent you. This is the reason why a lot of these men grow up and they end up not liking their mothers for real. They end up not liking their mothers for real, especially if it's like a broken home. So it's like a co-parent situation. What'll happen is these boys will get raised by their mom, and then once they're old enough to deal with their dad, they'll talk shit about their own mom raising them. They will talk shit about their own mom raising them once they're old enough to go be with their dad. So they literally are pissed off at the person that fed them, put clothes on their back, did all of those things for them. It is not worth building a man at all. Like they don't even appreciate their mothers. They don't even appreciate their own mothers. As soon as they're able to go back to their dad, that as soon as they go back to their dad, all they do is talk shit about their mom. Like you wouldn't even be here to talk if your mom didn't take care of you and keep you alive. What are you talking about? Men will try to guilt you into loving them by being overcritically of you. Exactly. Yes, the rapper Kevin Gates' wife, the reason he's who he is now. She built his career and he embarrasses her every chance he gets. Yeah, his music is always talking about eating booty and doing this and flipping over this woman and doing this woman like what? Like mm-mm. Mm-mm. Men always respect people who are mean to them. Yup, they sure do. They sure do. And Venus is about to be in retrograde. So naturally a lot of y'all are going to be mean to men anyway because Venus will be in retrograde shortly. So naturally y'all are about to be standing on business, setting boundaries, having breakups. um you're not going to have that soft spot. You're not going to have that soft spot in your heart for men like you normally would. I respect rappers in their craft. I just won't date one. Exactly. Kudos to you for doing your little rap thing, but I'm not listening to your mixtape on SoundCloud, guy. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna let you date me. Mm-mm. Scared money don't make no money. Exactly. Take a risk. Take a risk. There is always a black woman behind him with a good government job. Yes, always, always. We have to be a man's cheerleader for him to feel we back them up. Exactly. It's terrible. That's my current situation. I sacrificed for my son, and when he turned 18, he left to go live with his father and now doesn't talk to me. It's hurtful, but it is what it is. He'll see. He'll see. Let him find out. He'll see. With time, he will see who his father truly is. His father will let him down repeatedly. His father will hurt his feelings, and he will be running back to you. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. 1 second. Why won't this? Sorry, 1 second, y'all. Sorry, y'all. 1 second. My computer's being freaking weird. Okay. All right. So I didn't finish musician. Sorry, I had to make sure I remember where I was. The thing about rap artists and musicians, they have a hard time grasping reality. They do. These men, they're like dreamers and they refuse to accept they refuse to accept reality. Like, bro, like your music isn't good. Like you're not gonna take off. Like your music is trash. But because they're so passionate about it, they think that their passion can like supersede the reality. And it's like, I understand you're passionate and you like this, but don't forget you can get a regular, steady job and then do music as a hobby. You don't have to make this shit your whole entire life. Like, get a real job and then do music as a hobby. And then maybe if you get lucky, then your hobby doing music can then make you money if you blow up. 37% of professional musicians report mental health struggle, often linked to financial instability. No shit. No shit. Of course, when you're not financially stable, your mental is going to be affected in some way because your survival is at risk. The divorce rate among musicians is about 42%. Especially if they tour frequently, because like I said, groupies and all those, you know what I'm saying, oh, for cons, I already said it, but financial instability. And then usually men that want to become musicians and rappers, they have a large ego. They think that they're the best, the next best thing. They think their music is great. They think they're so hot. They think that they're so great at their craft. You can't reason with them. You can't reason with them and like bring them back to earth and like make them realize that it, like, no, like you're not popping, like you're really not good at this like you thought you were. And they're very irresponsible with money, very, very irresponsible with money. So warning signs: he's pushing 40 and he's still talking about his big break, him becoming the next big thing. Like, bro, you're way too old. Like, you're way too old and you don't. The thing about it is that some of these men will be old having these large aspirations, and it's like, have you even booked a gig to become like a background person in like an acting gig or something, or in like a music video? Like, have you even started there? Because that's usually what people do. Like Future was in like a lot of like older videos before he like actually became a rapper. Two Chains was a part of a group before he actually came and became an independent rapper. Like, there's seeds that you have to plant. There's seeds that you have to plant before you actually like reach that level and reach that pinnacle. And like it's a slow process. And then him expecting to fund your lifestyle. I Can you give me money? I need money so I can go in the studio. You know, I need money so we can cut this record so I can release it. And then every time that, and then another thing that these musicians will do, it'll be the next big, it'll really be someone that's like new and blowing up. He doesn't deserve to blow up. My music is way better than his music. Like, you know how they do on the video game, saying that the video game was cheating. That's what they do when they see someone else like more popular than them and they blow up, and they think that that person isn't deserving and that they don't have any talent, and they have more talent. It's like, I can assure you, if you had that much talent, you would be on the TV. I would hear your music on TikTok and all that stuff. I guarantee you, if you were that great, I promise you, everyone would know you already. Okay. Hold on, let me go back to the chat. They have Peter Pan syndrome too. Exactly. If she works for the government, they are now both employed. True. Enjoy your alone time while you have it, Yolanda. Yes, that's very true. You ain't got no child in the house. So, yeah, enjoy your alone time. You ain't got to worry about cooking, cleaning, and you have a son. You ain't got to worry about him bringing no girls over. If he knocks up a girl, guess what? It's his father's fault because he knocked up he, God forbid, I hope he doesn't do that. But any future decisions that he makes while he's living with his father, it's technically now a reflection of his father's parenting because he's making the decisions under the parental guidance of his father. So, you'll see how he turns out. You'll see how he turns out. When I started being mean to my husband, sadly, he started giving me more of what I wanted. N- I say all the time, men bully one another. Like men are mean to one another. Men don't know how to appreciate niceness. They don't know how to appreciate niceness because no one is nice to them. It's a part of patriarchy to be mean. Like men are assholes, so they don't know how to be. They'll just sit there and reap the benefits. But when you're mean, when you're demanding, mm-mm, mm-mm. They'll do everything at that point. They'll do everything at that point. LOL, I'm trying that this year. Thank you for sharing your story. As long as you did good, that's what matters. Their real job is to get a woman to do everything for them. Exactly. They have drug or alcohol issues too because they think that they're an actual star. This is another reason why it's like the whole music thing. Don't forget to like, please, guys, give thumbs up. Please, please, please like the live. Um, all of that music when they're talking about like perks and all of those like substances and things like that, it's playing on their subconscious when they're listening to stuff like that. And so then they think it's cool to like drink and take all of these substances and take all these weird things. No. You need to have multi millions already before even thinking of getting into entertainment music. Exactly. You need a job. You need a job that's going to give you enough money and make you enough money for you to actually like get the recording time, the studio time, all those things. Having to stroke the ego of a delusional failure is stressful. Too old to rap. If you have full custody, you don't have to worry about raising a son. True. Patriarchy expects that. Yeah, they're men are taught to be mean to one another. They don't know any other form. Like you being an asshole to them, like think of all of the women that make money being dominatrix. Think of all the women that make money being dominatrix. Like there's a sector of this when it comes to sex work because there are men who they want to be ridiculed, they want to be humiliated, they want to be controlled over. There are men that like this. And it's a lot of men. It's a lot of men who actually want to be controlled, want to be dominated. So don't ever feel like you're this terrible person because you're being mean to men. They literally pay women to be mean to them. They literally pay women to be mean to them. I have a mentor who loves music. He became a DJ at 50 after becoming a millionaire. Exactly. Once you have enough money, then you can pursue your passion. You could pursue what it really is that you want to because you won't be relying on it to make you money for you to just survive. You know, it like no, it's you have to have some form of stability. That's how you do it. Be a millionaire, go make a lot of money first, then go do what you want to do. He 50, if he lived to 70, he would be a D. I don't know when he said he became a DJ at 50. So even if he dies at 70 and he kept DJing, he would still be able to die being a DJ for 20 years. That's pretty goddamn good. The more mean you are to them, the more attracted they are to you. Exactly. Yes, one wanted me to spit on him and tell him that he wasn't ish. Exactly. This is the thing. When men have those like kinks where they want you to be mean to them and things like that, it's literally because they probably underwent some type of abuse like that growing up. Especially if he grew up with a father, if the father was in the home, he definitely wants you to be an asshole to him. Because the men are assholes to their sons a lot of the time, you know, calling them stupid, calling them weak, making them fight one another, their siblings, or sometimes the fathers will even make the son fight him for his masculinity. They don't, I'm telling you, what you think is mean, what a woman thinks is mean, it's not mean at all to men. It's not mean at all to men, I'm telling you. The stress that comes with financially unstable men can literally make you sick, triggering autoimmune diseases. Listen, listen. When I tell you, like, when a man asks me for money, like, whenever a man has tried asking me for money, I get the flu right away. Like, I'm like, excuse me? Okay, y'all can hear and see me, right? Because it like kicked me off. It had to like reconnect. Y'all, my computer is doing like weird things today. So I hope you guys can like still see me. Sorry about that. I had to reconnect the stream. When I do it on YouTube, it's like it's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess doing it on YouTube. I don't really like doing it on YouTube like this, but it is easier for me to see the chat and then I can see the likes and things like that. So I do like that, but I'm gonna have to hop over to I'm gonna have to hop over back to StreamYard soon. Because when I actually have things to show you all, I have no choice but to do it on StreamYard. But when it's just me yapping like this, I just do it on YouTube because it's I don't know, I guess because it's just easier. But the connection and all this stuff, it sucks. It's not very good. Yeah, as soon as a man asks me for money, I fall ill. I fall ill. I'm like, oh my God, I have a fever. I'm not feeling so hot. I'm not feeling so hot. I'm not physically well to be able to give you money, sir. No, it's not good for my health to give you money. It's not. It's not good for my health. It actually will take years off of my life if I give you money. I can't. I'm not physically able to do it. It's the tech bros messing with your connection. They watched your video from yesterday. It was probably Ghost 410. It was probably Ghost 410 going in, fucking up the wiring and the connection to my shit. That's probably what it really was. His ass. Okay. Hold on. Okay, for the next one, someone mentioned this one yesterday, and I feel like it's pretty obvious. Those goddamn athletes, okay? Those goddamn athletes, okay? I still really don't understand why women are dealing with athletes. I mean, I guess I do get it if you want to get to the bag, if you want to get to the bag, the bag, the bag. And I guess if you want clout. But those IG models dealing with these athletes, I just don't get it. I honestly don't freaking get it. Um, they have really large egos, they have a large sense of entitlement. Obviously they're cheaters and they expect for women to just their girlfriends, their wives, whoever, they just expect the women to cater to them constantly. Constant catering. They're constantly on the road, constantly traveling, so obviously they're going to be cheating, infidelity, groupies, um having a baby on you, STD exposure, in that locker room stuff. Oh no. That did y'all see the video? I gotta show y'all this. Hold on, let me go to my Facebook. I gotta show y'all this. Did y'all see the video of the Eagles? I think it was the Eagles celebrating at the game, and they were all in the locker room. Look at this. Oh, let me put the volume down. I don't want them to copyright me. Look at them. Sorry, my ring light is in the way. Look at the guy. Let me replay it. Look at this guy. His limp. He ain't he and look, they all got their shirts off and shit. Look at the guy with the t-shirt on. Look at his limp wrist. Look at them with all their shirts off. And it's women that want this. It's women that want this. That guy holding the phone is fruity as hell. That light-skinned man holding that phone recording is fruity as hell. So is the guy with the t-shirt on. His wrist was real limp. His wrist was super limp. Okay. They're going to Pound Town after the cameras leave. Exactly. They sure are. They sure are. The tech bros can't afford her, so they mess up the connection for attention. Exactly. Exactly. Like, goodbye. Goodbye. Mm-mm. 72% of professional athletes have cheated on their partners. Okay. 72% of professional athletes have cheated on their partner. So you could get the bag, but yeah, once again, they're gonna cheat on you. And then 67% of athlete marriages end in divorce. The women who marry athletes are the world's strongest soldiers. They're the world's strongest soldiers. I'm sorry. I don't want the bag that bad. I don't want the bag that bad. I would be way too afraid of someone having a baby on me. I would be way too afraid of getting an STD. I would just, and then just think, if you have children and you're with an athlete, you're a single mom. You're a single mom because he's going to be out on the road. And then also, you have to think too, their career is usually only 3 to 4 years long, and you have to pray that they don't get an injury. If they get an injury, you're fucked. If they get an injury, you're fucked. Their career is over. Their career is freaking over. So you're going to be a single mom while he's out on the road, sleeping with other women, doing Lord knows what with the men in the locker room, as we just seen. And then he might get an injury and y'all may not have no money. No. Look what's happening to Miss Nikki Baby. She's bad and he still cheated left. Well, yeah, because I think the biggest thing is that, listen, beauty will never stop you from getting cheated on. It will never stop you from getting cheated on. Women are always like, Halle Berry got cheated on, Beyonce got cheated on. Beauty doesn't guarantee that you're not going to get cheated on, okay? They don't care. Men don't get any attention. Men don't get any attention. And if anything, when they're with a beautiful woman, all it does is give them attention from other women, because women are interesting. So, like, I remember Jermaine Dupri said this when he was talking about Janet Jackson. He has said that when he was with Janet Jackson, it attracted more women. It attracted more women. And the psychology behind that is that when a man is with a woman who is very, very attractive and he's in a relationship with her, she gets validation from that man if that man is willing to sleep with her. So what happens is that subconsciously, all of the women that were sleeping with Jermaine Dupri while he was with Janet Jackson, those women now equate themselves to Janet Jackson. They now equate themselves to Janet Jackson. That's the reason why women do that. Oh, well, if he's dating Janet Jackson and he's sleeping with me, then I'm equal to Janet Jackson because he wouldn't sleep with me. If he didn't like me, he wouldn't sleep with me. That's how women think that this works. Women don't believe that men will just sleep with any old person. It's Jermaine Dupri. Come on, like, it's Jermaine Dupri. He looks like a hobbit. He looks like a freaking hobbit. Women only go for men like that when they're with a beautiful person because it validates them. It gives them a sense of validation. Oh, well, now I'm on the same level as Janet Jackson because Janet Jackson's boyfriend slept with me. That's how a lot of women think of it. That's their psychology behind it. They feel like they're on the main chick's level. Exactly. In college, I was told by other gay men that most of the athletes were DL and pointed out guys' dorms room they were secretly with. Them athletes are gay. I told you all, any organization of men, okay, where they have to work together, where they have to play together, where they have to do everything strictly together, they're doing other stuff. Men sleep with anything. And you mean to tell me their boundary is another man? That's where they draw the line. They'll do a turkey, they'll do a corpse, they'll do your sister, they'll do your mom, and they're gonna stop. But men, no. The men is where they draw the line. No. Logically, that makes no sense. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that men are sleeping with anything and everything, with a pulse, without a pulse, don't care about the family relation, don't care about the age, and you're just going to stop it at men? No. LMAO, I can picture him in my head. He had such a funny style and smile, and his voice. His voice is so annoying. I don't know how Janet Jackson did it. He must have really been charming. He must have really been cunning, because I still don't understand how he pulled Janet Jackson at all. Okay, so obviously I told you for pros, they're fit, they're disciplined, financially they're well off while they're actively playing, because most of them don't have any financial literacy. They're not taught any of this. They have a very strong work ethic, high infidelity risk due to travel in groupies. They're very emotionally detached or egotistical, especially those football players. I would never deal with the football players. Those concussions are fucking up their brains, making them mentally unstable, making them erratic. Like, if you do research, you will see how many NFL players have unalived their wives and their family members. And they've taken a ton of concussions before all of that has happened. It's extremely dangerous. Those men playing in the NFL, it's extremely dangerous. They have high rates of putting their hands on women too. Okay, I already said they have a short career span. And then for warning signs, multiple baby mamas. We all know about Cam Newton. There's another I forgot, there's another guy that's an athlete who just had like another who has like another baby mama. I think it's like his fourth or fifth baby mama. Um, oh yeah, you said it, pretty boy syndrome. They think they're the prize. They talk about themselves a lot. They think that they're the shit. They think that they're God's gift to the world. And then usually men that are athletes, they expect you to be their cheerleader. They do. They expect you to be their freaking cheerleader and support them and do all that stuff. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. Athletes are just ugh. No, athletes are just ugh. If you're gonna deal with an athlete, have him buy you something. Have him buy you something. Have him do some fancy stuff for you. But I would never actually commit to one of them. Lord no. Lord no. No such thing as a high value man, period. Yeah, it really is no such thing. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. I promise I'm only going to do this. I'm only going to ask you guys to do this when I'm on YouTube because I actually can see it. And then we'll go on to the next few. The likes are free. The likes are free. My cousin dated a football player who had a lot of concussions that we found out was physically abusing her. I'm telling you, when they take those concussions, it messes up their mental health. Like, it makes them irate and crazy. It something is wrong. Something becomes wrong with them when they are taking on all of those concussions. I'm trying to think of his dang name. The NFL player that was he had the dogs fighting. The dogs fighting. Which one was that? Well, actually I have another example too. Antonio Brown. I forgot what Michael Vick, yes, but I know for a fact Antonio Brown. I forgot who they were playing, but Antonio Brown, you can look it up. You can see the hit that he took. He took an incredibly hard hit. He took an incredibly hard hit. And following that hit, that's when he started acting erratic. That's when he started acting crazy. That's when he turned into a whole nother person. Yes, those CTEs, exactly. Those CTEs are extremely dangerous. If I had a son, I would never put my son in football. I would never put my son in football. Tony Gaskins even say don't put your sons in football because they get hit in the head a lot. Yes, and it makes them dangerous. It makes them crazy. It makes them mentally unstable. I would never ever put a child in football. Those men hurt each other for sports. Exactly. Basically gives them a lobotomy. Yep. I mean, since they're always hitting each other and tackling each other, they probably don't switch it off when they come home. That too. And this is the reason why I'm talking about these professions and psychoanalyzing them, because for all of these professions, these men don't know how to navigate the real world. These men don't know how to flip their profession on and off, because you have to think a lot of these men get into professions for certain reasons, and a lot of the reason honestly is revolved around women. Like, come on, you mean to tell me that a football player isn't dreaming and daydreaming about, oh man, like if I get drafted, I'm going to have groupies. I'm going to have women throwing themselves at me. I'm going to have women sliding into my DMs. You think that they don't think about that as like something that they want to have? That's something that they want to have. They're not gonna know how to turn that shit on. And a lot of them, especially if you're with them and you're married to them, they think you're gonna put up with it anyway. So why would they ever feel like they need to turn that off for you when you're already married to them, you already have children with them, yada yada, all that. There would be no incentive for them to turn anything off or make any adjustments because you're with them already. Facts. That is 100% a part of the dream factor. Yep. What do you think about older women with a younger what do you think about older women with a younger man? Mommy issues? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I am going to be honest. I don't really it's going to be a double standard, I know. Okay, so the money thing. The younger men really aren't going to make a whole lot of money, but this is what I think. This is what I think when they're younger and when they're with a woman who is older, I feel as though it motivates men to like want to grind harder and to want to do more stuff. When they're younger and they're with women that are the same age, I feel like it doesn't motivate them as much because it's just like we're on the same trajectory. Like we're doing everything at the same time. We're doing everything at the same time. I feel like when they're younger, I feel like it motivates them more. They probably do have mommy issues, but like for instance, like my dad has always liked older women and like he retired my grandma. Like he retired his mom. My dad retired his own mom and my dad has always liked women that were older than him. Always. So I really do feel like when it's a older woman and a younger man, I actually feel like it's a really good dynamic. I do. I feel like it's a really good dynamic. And I feel also is, and people will say, oh, well, that's a double standard. That's a double standard. Women don't exploit men typically. Like women aren't thinking, okay, how can I control a man? How can I have power over a man? How can I manipulate a man to get him to do everything it is that I want? Typically, women aren't thinking that. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, women don't go in with the same intentions of dealing with a man younger, like a man that's older would go into dealing with a woman who's younger. It's not the same because men and women don't have the same objectives when it comes to the opposite sex. I personally think older women and younger men is a better dynamic in my opinion. I feel like that's one of the best types of dynamic because it's just it is just way easier to be able for them to listen to you because men are naturally submissive. Men are naturally submissive. The men that are younger, they want to listen. If they're like older women, they want someone to tell them what the fuck to do. They're with someone because they want to be told what the fuck to do. Like, I'm bossy, okay? I want to be with a man that I tell him what to do. I tell him what to do and he'll just do it. So I think it's actually a good dynamic. I don't really think it stems from mommy issues. I don't think it really stems from mommy issues. I think that's the natural order. I think that's the natural order. Older women should be with younger men. That's what I think. Older women should be with younger men. They don't try to control older women either like they do the young ones. Exactly. Men strategize, women emotionalize. Time to flip it and reverse it. Exactly. Oh, Joni, thanks for answering my question. Whenever men ask dumb shit like this, it just shows that they're not creative and that they're controlled by the patriarchy. Your hair, nails, makeup, it's all form of expression, but men have no creativity, so they don't understand what that looks like. Men's form of creativity is cars. The car they can't afford, their dream car. So they just go get fucking the NASCAR racing cars. That's their form of creativity. That's their form of creativity. And so then they ask dumb shit like this, like, you're not a woman, you're a man. You're not gonna get it. I don't know why men ask these questions. Why do you want to be a woman so bad? Once I feel like he's too feisty, I'm out. Exactly. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time for that shit. You're not gonna disrespect me. You're not gonna talk to me like I'm dumb. You're not gonna disrespect me, call me out of my name. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. My younger brothers respected me. That is so true. They are submissive, yes. But then they'll spend your money. Not if you don't give it to them. Not if you don't give them to them. No, they won't. Not if you. The only way that a man that's younger than you can spend your money is if you give it to him. If you're giving a man money that's younger than you, that means the only reason why he's there is for your money. Don't give it to them. Just don't give it to them. What do you think about men who care a lot about how they look, take selfies, etc.? It's a red flag. I don't deal with men that are super, super crazy into their looks. I don't. Because the thing about it is this: men don't have beauty as currency. They don't. Women have that. Men very rarely are able to use beauty as currency, which is why when a man is way too into himself, I'm over here thinking, like, you probably like men. You probably like men. You probably don't like women. You probably don't like women if you're that much into your looks. They probably like a man. I've always been bossy. It's my Capricorn and Taurus placements. I love being bossy. Me too. I love telling people what to do. And I'm nice about it too. I do. I give people the good advice. I direct properly. I'm not like disrespectful or mean or belittling or anything like that. I like telling people what to do. I think there was another question that I missed. Hold on. The frontal lobe is where our mental thoughts are processed, and that's what they always smash when playing football. Makes perfect sense. I did not know that, but that makes perfect sense. I can never wrap my mind around giving a man money, not even a beggar. Yes, like I saw someone today saying that, like, oh, I believe Valentine's Day should be for men and women. I'm like, y'all, these women are, oh my God. Like, it was a woman that had wrote it on Facebook, and I'm just like, Lord Jesus. We got women out here thinking that Valentine's Day should be for men, that it should be for men and women. No, men get Sweetest Day in October. Valentine's Day is for women. And even for Sweetest Day, you're just getting the bedroom action for Sweetest Day. I'm not, or some socks. I'm not giving you no gifts or anything for Sweetest Day. Like what? Oh my God, my ex was like that. So into his looks. I am, it's too much. It's too much. My younger brothers wouldn't let another man disrespect me. I don't have to tell them to defend me. Exactly. Exactly. They get it. Like they 100% get it. Like I said before, when an older man wants to go for a younger woman, it's only for control. Men that are younger that like older women, I feel as though it's not a whole lot that they're trying to take advantage of. Your money, yes, but like I said, they can't use your money if you don't give it to them. If you don't give it to them, they won't have your money. My ex-husband actually taught me that Sweetest Day is for men, Valentine's is for women. Yeah, Sweetest Day is for men. I think it's in October. It is. I think it's in October, and Valentine's Day is for women. Valentine's Day is our day. I think this will be the first Valentine's Day of my life where I wasn't dating someone or talking to someone like y'all. There have been men that have bought me shit and had things sent to my house, and they never met me before for Valentine's Day. I've had flowers delivered, I have things purchased for me. They ask me what my address is, and then on Valentine's Day, I'm like, "What? What? Like, you got me shit for Valentine's Day and you haven't even met me before?" Sweetest Day is like it's like the male version of Valentine's Day. I think it's like October 16th or something like that. Ew, okay, let me block this guy because he's gross. Um, okay, I hid him. No, I'm not undoing that. Okay, let's do the next profession. Let's get the likes up to 100. Can we get it up to 100 and then I'll do the next one? So only 11 more likes, just 11 more. You guys can do it. My lovely sovereign sisters can do it. I met a man on a dating site. He sent me red bottoms to my PO box. Oh hell yeah. I love that. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Come on. Like red bottoms, oh my god. Oh, yeah, I just looked, only 94 are watching. I rebuked that holiday because I'm not getting a man a small gift outside of B-Day or Christmas. That's all you get, sir. That's why I said we're only gonna do the bedroom stuff for Sweetest Day. Sorry. Okay, someone mentioned this one yesterday for this profession. So it is pilots. Okay, I think a couple people mentioned pilot yesterday. Pilots are smart as hell. I got to give them that. You got to be goddamn smart to operate like heavy machinery in the air as a pilot. Like, you got to be smart and disciplined and confident. You have to be because, like, you have a lot of people's lives at risk. Okay. Like, you have a lot of people's lives at risk when you're flying them hundreds of thousands of miles in the air. But obviously, a pilot is always going to be traveling. Okay. So they're not going to be home. And then obviously, what gender are flight attendants usually? The flight attendants are usually women, okay? And the men that get into becoming flight attendants, a lot of them are gay, okay? So he has a nice supply of women that he can sleep with while he's on the job, okay? So they definitely are at a high risk for cheating, okay? I looked it up and I found that their infidelity rate is 55% and their divorce rate is 30%. But pilots actually remarry often. I'm not too sure of why that is, to be honest. I think it's because they don't want to come home and be alone. They don't want to come home and be alone after they've like been in the cockpit all the time and they're in and out of hotels. I feel like they remarry often because they want a sense of home. They want like that homemaker type vibe when they're not at work. They don't just want to go to work, sleep with women, be at the hotel, and then that's just their whole life. And they come home to an empty house. They want to come home to someone being there, waiting for them, giving them a hug, and all those things. So that's the reason why I feel like they are more they will remarry more often. Okay. Obviously, for pros, pilots make fucking money. Okay. Like they make very, very good money. Free flights. Hello. Free flights. Who doesn't want free flights? They tend to be confident. And for cons, it's just like what I told you guys. They're away from home for a long time. They have temptation all over the place. And it is a high stress job, emotionally distant. And then, just like for athletes, if you have children with a pilot, you're going to be a single mom. You are. You're going to be a single mom. So he better hire a nanny. He better hire a babysitter, a chef, or something to make your life easier. Because one kid is one, but once you talk about two or three and you're with a pilot, that's a lot. Um, they're never home. They can only call you during layovers because obviously you can't have the phone on and talk anyway. Um, they usually have like multiple phones, and then pilots aren't gonna tell you who they're hanging out with. They're not. They're not gonna tell you who they're hanging out with at all. I don't even give up the cookies. Yes, men deserve nothing. I love that. Do you just block men who ask for money? Yeah. Yeah, why would you not block them? Why would you leave them unblocked so they can keep on asking you for money? I rebuke that. Okay, I already read that. I don't see how pilots do it. I don't like being up in the air. So I like flying. I like being up in the air, so I don't mind it. Um I wish I knew a pilot, so I could be a part of the Mile High Club. A friend was engaged to a pilot. He made 500K annually. Sheesh. Yeah, and flight attendants have a high rate of unaliving because of the loneliness and the lack of stability. Yep, I can believe it. I can believe it. They need another slave, I mean wife. Exactly. What do you think of men that want women to build their career? They're lazy, they're not self-motivated, they're codependent. Those three things: lazy, unmotivated, codependent. Like, you're a man. You make more money. You have way more opportunity afforded to you. You got a head start with the patriarchy. We live in a whole patriarchal society, and you still need a woman to help you build? You mean to tell me you still need a woman to help you build, and we live in a patriarchal society? Are you joking? Are you kidding? Like, if a man is looking at you, asking you to help him, asking you to help him build, you should just start laughing. You should start laughing hysterically. Like, you should start laughing so hard that he thinks that you're nuts, because he's nuts to even ask you that in the first place. Like, you had a head start and you still need a woman to help you. Oh my God. No, no, I'm not helping you build. It's not happening. They make the best sugar daddies. I had an uncle who was co pilot, never became captain, and eventually quit. He used to work for Air Jamaica. Hmm. I rather take a boat everywhere. I don't like flying. Yep, they'll have pros in different area codes. Yep. I think female pilots are so badass. Me too. What do you say about these Uber drivers and all the delivery drivers? Listen, I don't trust Uber drivers or delivery drivers. I really, really, really don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the vibe that I get from Uber drivers or delivery drivers. I don't know. I just, first of all, it doesn't pay well. It doesn't. It doesn't pay well. And let's just look at it like this. Have y'all ever had a man do your Instacart order? Have y'all ever had a man do your Instacart order before? They fuck it up every time. One time I had food delivered, the man ate my goddamn food. Okay. Sometimes like and sometimes when I'm in when the Uber with those men or whatever, I'm just like, "Oh my God, I can't wait until they drop me off at my location." Like, the vibes are weird. Yeah, they just give me creeper vibes. They do. They just give me creeper freaking vibes. Girl, I literally cancel the order if I get assigned a man on Instacart. Yeah, because they fuck it up every time. Every time. Right when they get to the store, oh, there's no bread. You mean to tell me there's like 16 different brands of bread, and you mean to tell me there's no bread? Like, and don't let you ask for a vegetable or a fruit that they're not familiar with. You ask them to go in and get like a radicchio or bok choy. They gonna tell you that the place don't have it. I can't find it. I can't find it. It's like, bruh, you're not looking for it. I guarantee you it's there. I guarantee you it's there. I had quite a few Uber drivers hit on me. One gave me a rose talking about it's Women's Day. Ugh. Mm-mm. I had an Uber driver try to pull over to take me to breakfast. I told him to please just take me home. That's crazy. I hope you reported him. I hope you reported him because that's creepy. And that's the thing. I feel like those Uber drivers, like when they pick up women, they try to take it as an opportunity to like court women, talk to women, get women's numbers. I'm never comfortable with a male Uber driver. Never. I'm never comfortable with one. Let me see. I had a woman send me numerous photos of other options when one of my items was out of stock. Women are so much better. Yes. They're more timely. They always are updating you, always giving you options. It's so much better. It's so much better when the women are the ones doing the shopping because they're used to being in the grocery store. They're used to being the ones shopping. Oh my God, it's like a preview of what it'll be if you were married to the guy, Uber delivery driver. That's all I think of. That's all I think of. It's like, so that means every time we have to get groceries, that means I have to take grocery. I would have to go to the grocery store and do the grocery shopping because he's not gonna do it properly, or we would have to go to the grocery store together, and I don't want to do that either. I don't. I don't want to do that either. No delivery drivers, too little money for today's economy. Exactly. And half the time, they're not like doing this. Half the time, they're not like doing an extraordinary job either. So it's not like they're getting a ton of tips. And the way tipping culture is, you come on, you're not going to scratch the surface at all if you're a delivery driver working off of tips. It's just not going to work. What do you think about men saying they rather be liked than loved? I feel as though it's an honest thing to say because people don't like men. And the thing about it is that men resent women loving them. That's just the hard, honest truth. Men resent the love from a woman because men know they're not deserving. Men know they're not deserving. Men know they are not deserving. They know they're not deserving of it. I've had several men be like, I don't even know why you're talking to me. I don't even know why you're sleeping with me. I don't even know why you're letting me letting me take you out. I don't deserve to like be with someone like you. Men resent you for loving them because they don't love themselves and they know that they're not worthy of giving you love or reciprocating love. That's really what it is. So they rather you just like them, that's it, just the bare minimum, just like them. Um, I remember so today I was watching a video. I don't know if anyone knows Queen Naja and Clarence, but there was a content creator, she had like covered their relationship. And they create content, Queen Naja and Clarence. And there's a video of like them both sitting on the couch, and like Clarence is in the front and then Queen Naja is in the back, and Queen Naja is like talking to him and she's like, I love you so much, and I'm just so happy that I'm with you, and I'm just so in love with you. Like she's professing her love to this man. And he is like this. He looks bothered. He's not like, "Oh, I love you too." That man looked bothered, okay? That man looked super fucking bothered. He didn't care about any of the shit that she was saying. And you could tell she was looking at him hoping that he would like reciprocate what it was that she was saying. He looked annoyed as hell. He's like, why are you even telling me this? Why do you love me? Like what? They treat it as a date. I love grocery shopping and all shopping. Yeah, I like grocery shopping too. Grocery shopping is satisfying because I love to eat. I love to eat, so I love grocery shopping. And I grocery shop so much, I know I could find anything in the grocery store. I could find anything in the grocery store. I done been to just about every goddamn grocery store there is in existence. I have a longtime sugar daddy who I literally cussed out one time. The next day, I woke up to 4K in my PayPal, LMAO. That's when I knew they are truly psychotic. There is a man who, like, I verbally abuse. Like, there's a man that I verbally abuse. I would block him, then unblock him. Oh my God, I would say so many, like, horrible things to him. He takes me out on dates, will send me money, and I'm just like, I can't believe that you allow me to verbally abuse you like this, but it's because that's what they're used to. That's their form of love, is you being mean to them. I'm an Uber driver, lately not driving as much, and the same happens in reverse. Whenever I get the misfortune of picking up one of those loser XY passengers, they would try to shoot their shot. Yeah. It's like if they're in the confines of a woman, they cannot help but to take it as an opportunity, as a romantic advance. They only know to take it as an opportunity for a romantic advance. They don't their brain can't frame it any other type of way. It just can't. If they say they don't deserve you, believe them. Exactly. Yes, oh my God, it's so annoying. Like, just be better, bro. I'm leaving now because you clearly don't think you're good enough for me. Exactly. Most men are not whole and want to drain women of their energy to try to fill their completeness. Exactly. Men have to siphon your energy. Okay. That's the main reason why that's why men come up in here in the chat. They just want to siphon energy. That's really all it is. That's the reason why men always want to make passes at you and talk to you. And it's because they want to siphon your energy. That's really what it is. You gotta be a man's type and you gotta be mean to them for them to treat you good. Exactly. If you're not the man's type, you being mean to them won't work. You being mean to them won't work. You either need to, you gotta be mean to them and you gotta remind them that other people wanna deal with you and they'll give you everything that it is that you want as long as you're their type and as long as they are physically attracted to you. I thank y'all Uber drivers, but I would only do deliveries. I can't tolerate dealing with the public anymore. 14 years in healthcare, unalived that. Child, I just left the healthcare field. I'm never looking back. I'm never looking back. And I barely did half of the time you did. Men love to take advantage of a situation. Yes, I felt that, girl. Public healthcare is not for the weak. Mm-mm. Nope. Missing exactly. I made a video on TikTok. Because they've suppressed my content so much on TikTok, I rarely post on there and not a whole lot of people were able to see it. But I made a video and I said that I know the reason why men ask women what they bring to the table. The reason why men ask you what you bring to the table is because as a woman, you have two X chromosomes. Okay, you have two X chromosomes, right? And it's 4 points. It's 4 points to an X chromosome. There's four legs to a stable table. The reason why men ask you what you bring to the table is because you have two tables, because you have two X chromosomes. They have one table, and then they have a table with a broken leg. And so they want to ask you what you bring to the table because they want you to complete their broken leg of their table. That's why they want to know what you bring to the table. I just got into the healthcare system. I work at a seniors living facility. How do you like it so far? How do you like it so far? I feel like no matter what profession you get into, the beginning of it is like always blissful because you've worked so hard. You've worked so hard to like be able to get the job and the stability, the degree, whatever, whatever. And then after some time, once like the glitter is gone, the novelty is gone. It's just kind of like, ugh. Hey, hey, you are right. Well, thank you. I never heard it described that way. Shalom. Yeah, so that's why. The reason why men want to that's the reason why men are asking what you bring to the table. This is also why men are extremely codependent. The Y chromosome is mutated. The Y chromosome is not a complete chromosome. They're missing a part of themselves and they have to go to the feminine to be able to fulfill that and to feel that. They can only get that from the feminine. Yep, exactly. It's a degenerated X, and that's why they're saying that in the next million years, the Y chromosome will be extinct. It's predicted that in the next million years, the Y chromosome will be extinct. Mother Nature is slowly but surely they're exiting them out, taking them out. I have been dating men twice my age or more because I enjoy the companionship portion of sugaring relationships. I am super nurturing, and my grandmother and mother did nursing, so it's generational. Oh, I love that. I love that. And I mean, you are in a prime position to be able to meet those type of people too. So so that works out perfect. That does. That works out perfect. Okay, give me a second. Because my computer, ugh, my laptop has been stupid. Like, what? Okay, the next one. I think someone mentioned this one too. Chefs, men that cook, chefs. Chefs are clearly passionate. I mean, come on, you've seen Gordon Ramsay, even though he's crazy and something's wrong with him. But they are passionate, they're hardworking, they're creative. Um, They work crazy ass hours though, and obviously when you work in the food industry, when you're working in customer service, it's like a very high pressure place. So you have to think of like Anthony Bourdain, like people that are involved in the food industry. A lot of them cope like with alcohol, drugs, they have a lot of affairs, because the restaurant industry is toxic, okay? I had a minor stint in the restaurant industry. I quit immediately. I tried it twice actually. Both times I quit after like 2 weeks. I was like, "Mm-mm, I can't do this. I'm not built for this. I can't do this." The divorce rates for chefs is 50%, which is double the national average. And then a survey found 1 in 4 chefs struggle with substance abuse due to job stress. Okay. Chefs, it's a hard job. It is. It's a hard fucking job to be a chef. It's a very, very hard job. But at least they can cook. They can cook. They tend to have intense personalities, I feel like, but they are very passionate. They're very passionate. Obviously, they're creative and they're very, very detailed. Um, just like with pilots, like with the unpredictable hours, you really not being able to see them, you not being able to really spend time with them. They can be very, very temperamental because the stress from being in the kitchen, meeting the needs of their customers. If they're not a head chef, like the head chef is on their ass, critiquing all their food, making them repeat the food, customers making them repeat the food, things like that. They can be very, very temperamental, and chefs like to party. They do. They like to party and they like to partake in a lot of substances too. For chefs, for warning signs, I feel like chefs like to they yell at people. Like they have a yelling problem. They get real loud. They do. They get real, real, real loud. Chefs do. And they drink a lot. They do. They drink a lot. And they have like chefs have way too many mood swings for me. They have way too many mood swings for me. Way too many. Like, it's too much. It is. It's way, way, way too much dealing with chefs. Way too much dealing with them. Ramsey Hell Kitchen, exactly. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Yeah, they made that quote for a reason. They made that quote for a reason. That's already telling you that chefs are hot headed, temperamental. Mm-mm. Yes, a lot of chefs do blow. A lot of chefs do because they're up all night. You have to think there's the chefs, they have to come in early to prep all the food, or maybe they'll stay late and then they have to clean up. They have to stay later to prep all the food to make sure that it's ready for the next morning. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I was a bartender in college. I aspired to be like the owner. She married the previous owner after working for him, then took 4 of his restaurants in the divorce, and they became big hits in New York. What? That's awesome. That's awesome. I heard that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I heard that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. This is why I think it's good for women to be with men that like have things, they have businesses, they have properties. Because if you get married to him, you could take it. It could be your business, it could be your houses, it could be your properties. I feel like it's good to deal with men that have something for you to be able to take. Especially head chefs of elite 5-star kitchens. They're absolutely the worst. Yes, if it's a head chef at a Michelin star restaurant, you're in for a treat. And not a good one. You are in for a treat if you are with a head chef and they're the head chef of like a Michelin star. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I had one man that was a head chef of a Michelin star hit on me and asked to take me out. I said no. Mm-mm. I could already tell. He had that little forehead vein popping through when he was talking to me. He was like real rugged looking. I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. No, thank you. Yes, I need my name on their will, trust, retirements and stuff. Exactly. Exactly. Get the men with the 1.5 foot in the grave. Yes. Super old. Do like how Anna Nicole did. Do how Anna Nicole did. No man has ever asked me, "What do I bring to the table?" I always play dumb around them, knowing I'm not bringing anything. No man's ever asked me that either. No man's ever asked me that either. A man would be a fool to ask me that shit. A man would be a fool to ask me that shit. No man has ever fixed his lips to ask me that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. This is the thing. Men know who to ask these questions to. Okay. Men know who to offer a coffee date to. Men know who to ask what your body count is. Men know exactly who to ask these questions to. Okay. I need one of these old men's at the living facility I work at. I agree. Um, if he asks you that he's sassy and doesn't really like you, yeah, there's no way. There's no way that a man is asking you that and likes you or likes women. It's just no way. Mm. Oh, okay. You had asked the question I was gonna ask. I wanted to know the name of the restaurants too. Do you watch Pop the Balloon? Okay, so actually, I'm thinking about doing a Pop the Balloon. Well, you retracted the message, but I actually was thinking about doing a Pop the Balloon review tomorrow just to spice up the content a little bit. So I'm thinking about that's what I might do tomorrow because I don't plan my content. I don't plan my content at all. It just depends on what mood I'm in and what I want to talk about that day because my brain has like a billion things that I want to talk about. So I'll probably do Pop the Balloon, this week just to I don't know, just for fun, especially because I don't really watch it like that. I don't really watch it like that, so I think the men who asked that question must have been the one who was being pursued. Yeah, I think so. I think so, because that wouldn't make any sense. If you pursue me and you ask me what I bring to the table, um, someone said I don't like men. I really don't. I really don't. The best women are women who don't like men because that means that if the woman actually likes you, that means that that woman actually likes you. It's a good indicator that you're doing what you're supposed to do. A woman that like is boy crazy, male centered, obsessed with men, she has no standards. She has no standards. I watched the seniors version of Pop the Balloon. Damn, girl, you really do like them old folks, huh? Do you work with the old folks? You like watching the old folks on Pop the Balloon? Yeah, you like the old folks. You're an old soul, clearly. You are an old soul. You've been here before. I hope you pull an Anna Nicole girl. I hope you pull a man that's close to his grave. Close to his grave, girl. Cut that. Go on ahead and cut that ventilator off, girl. Cut that ventilator off. Okay, I already did them. Okay, hold on. Okay, so someone had asked me earlier about men that are into themselves, and I think it's funny that they had asked this because it ties into the next profession that I'm going to talk about. Men who are TikTokers and influencers. It really is dependent also on the content that they make, obviously. But like for instance, that Joey Swole guy, I hate that guy. Like I hate his fucking content. Kevin Samuels, the Red Pill Men. I would say probably like 95% of like male content creators, podcast bros, influencers, they're trash. They are absolute trash. Men that get into that line of work, they're addicted to attention. Like they really, really need attention. This is why those men are always, that's why men are always saying that when women post things on the internet, we're doing it for validation. It's a projection. They want to be able to post themselves on the internet and get validation. So the men that do decide to do this, it's because they want validation, they want attention. So they'll fake their personality, they'll pander like Kevin Samuels did. Even the men that are content creators and they're like relationship content creators, it's just for clout. and they thrive on external they thrive on external validation. They do. And I looked it up. I found that 56% of social media influence admit to faking relationships. More than half of them, more than half of social media influencers admit to faking relationships for clout. This is why I don't like it when people are like, oh, their relationship goals. I want to have a relationship like these two people. It's a stage. It's a stage. They just want to sell a dream to you and like have a highlight reel for you. Um, I mean, for cons, they're creative. They can work from home or travel. Depending on how much, like, how well known of a content creator they are, they might introduce you to like high profile people if they're like really well connected. But they might use you for content. They may use you for engagement. They need a lot of external validation. They're very into themselves, very attention seeking. They are usually financially unstable because a lot of the time, especially men, a lot of them they want to like promote a certain lifestyle, like the Andrew Tate types, you know. Um, just some warning signs. He records everything. My ex-boyfriend used to do this, and he was not a content creator, but he was like a fake content creator. So, like I said, he used to like do the transitions and the music and all that stuff and like make his posts like all extravagant and all these things. He would like whip out his phone during arguments. Like he recorded me throwing up once. I came back drunk from the club and I threw up. He recorded me throwing up. He even recorded throwing ice on my head when I was in the shower. Yep, he recorded me in the shower and pranked me and had like ice water and dumped it over my head when I was in the shower. Um, and yeah, they care about like their likes and their engagement. They don't tend to care about like real life connections. And then like obviously they have like a history of like clout chasing relationships because they want to be able to show someone off. I am very much an old soul. Older men are better at conversations. I agree. Nah, I don't pursue men. I was asked that by someone I had literally just met. He asked after the occupation question. Ooh, if they ask you that after an occupation question, you probably make more money than them. Or they're trying to, it means they want to go 50-50. If he asked you that, because I'm a firm believer on timing. I'm a firm believer of timing. And when a man asks you what you bring to the table after he asked an occupation question, he wants to go 50-50, or he's intimidated that you have a career where you make more than him, so he feels like he should be entitled to your money. That's why he's asking you, what do you bring to the table? Oh, you make more than me? Well, what are you going to give me then, because you make more money than me? Okay, so I like ABBA and Preach too, but sometimes ABBA and Preach, they do give me red pill vibes. Sometimes they do. Sparingly, they will give me red pill vibes, but overall their content is pretty good. They do stand up for women. They do. Ew, I watched a video of Dwight Howard using his toothbrush and then handing it to his wife to use the same toothbrush, and she actually used it. She actually used the toothbrush. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. What the F? That is terrible. The prank couples are the worst. Yeah. This is when I was younger and my brain wasn't fully developed. So I let that relationship go on a little bit longer than it should have. But yeah, he would like try to like prank me all the time. He would try to prank me all the time. This reminds me of the whole Nikki Thought and Jamie Perkins. I don't know who that is. I have to look it up. Title of parody video. Pop the balloon or find love for Valentine's Day doll stop motion parody. Okay. All right. Can I copy this? Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, I'll have to look it up. And ladies, please don't forget, you all can send me content. If there's content that you see and you want me to review the content, please feel free to email me at Queen Sovereign Being with the content that you would like for me to cover, and I'll cover it. Okay, I put that in my browser. I did. I put that in my browser. So, okay, this is the last one. I'm pretty for sure I did 10. Yeah, I'm pretty for sure I did 10. So this is the last one. Someone asked about this profession yesterday, okay? Realtors. Realtor. Actually, no, I think it's one. No, it's one more. It is. It's one more that I have to do. It is one more that I have to do. But realtors. Realtors is the next one. Realtor, in order for someone to sell a house, in order for a man to sell a house, he has to be persuasive. He has to be charming, okay? They're going to use that same tactic on you. They're going to persuade to get you in bed, to get you to go 50-50, for you to take a loan out, for you to move them in. They're very persuasive. Obviously, realtors, their income is unstable depending on the market, but they're natural salesmen. So they can talk their way into and out of anything. Okay. You got to keep your head on the swivel with realtors. Okay. A man that is in sales, like not even just specifically realtors, any type of man that is specifically in any type of sales, he is manipulative. He will be able to talk his way in and out of anything. Okay. Men that are in sales, men that are realtors, they are addicted to hustle culture, and typically they are addicted to status, okay? I looked it up because I did specifically look at realtors, but I looked it up and 50% of realtors leave the industry within 5 years due to financial instability. So they don't have longevity in the career anyway. And the divorce rate for realtors is 39%. And the infidelity rate is much higher due to frequent client interactions. I know a few male realtors, they straight up tell me that, like, oh, yeah, I have this client coming. She's so hot. Like, they'll send me pictures of the clients and stuff like that, and just straight up tell me, like, how hot she is, how sexy she is. Like, and they'll actually try to like hit on the clients too and like flirt with them. Obviously, they're charismatic, they're very persuasive. They can help you find a great real estate deal. There's a real estate agent now that's trying to ask me out. There is, and he's trying to use showing me a house as a way to take me out on a date. I'm like, no, no. No, I'm not gonna let you take me on a date and you disguise it as you showing me a house. Are you buying me the house? Are you going to be buying this house for me? Okay, well then I don't need you to show it to me. They can have a strong work ethic only if they are like successful, or they want to become successful having a strong work ethic. Once again, for cons, unstable income. Okay, the housing market sucks. They're always networking, so they're always going to be on their phone and flirting and being charismatic and talking to people and all that good stuff. And I feel like they're always emotionally unavailable, men that are in sales. Um okay, so for the warning signs, him talking about money and talking about status constantly, okay, but he doesn't have a whole lot of financial security. His income fluctuates a lot, okay? His income fluctuates a lot. And then when they're always at networking events, those networking events between realtors, those are just social mixers. Those are just social mixers. And also, like real estate, a lot of women do it because, like, obviously you can use your beauty to be able to sell a home. So a lot of them are like flirting with their female coworkers too. Like they don't have good intentions, a lot of them. Your thoughts on Valentine's Day, Queen? I feel like it's a good opportunity to get a man to buy you something that you want. I mean, aside from that, Aside from that, I don't have any thoughts. But if it's something that you want, yeah, I feel like Valentine's Day is the perfect opportunity for you to get what you want, eat at a nice place. Um, and you also can leverage Valentine's Day also. So you can ask for something for Valentine's Day. And then also, what you can do, you can leverage Valentine's Day to get something for the future. So, what you can do is you get you some sexy lingerie, you get you some bubbly, and you be all sexy for him and put it on him. And right after you put it on him, you ask him for something, and he'll say, yeah. What if he has cavities and she is using the same toothbrush? Exactly. Gross. She's gonna get an infection now. Light the stream. Yes, if you guys could light the stream, because we got a decent amount of people in here now. Everyone joined so late. I don't know where people are joining from, but yeah. You should really look up the Nikki and Jamie. Would love to get your take on that. Till this day, no one really knows what happened. It falls in line with your topic of discussion tonight. Okay, because I did see it. I did see it being covered on like YouTube. So what I'll do tonight is I'll watch it tonight. And I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow, but I could do it this week. I will. I could do it this week because I have seen other content creators talking about it, but I don't follow any of these people or anything like that. So I'll go on ahead and do it. I will. I will go on ahead and do it. Realtors are lazy. Salesmen are lazy. They're lazy as fuck. They're super lazy. And they're creepy. They're creepy like that realtor that was like, oh yeah, like pretty much trying to use him showing me a house as a way to like try to take me out on a date. Come on, do I look stupid? Like, do I actually look stupid? Do do do. One second, y'all. Do 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 do. Dang, everyone's coming in so late. Everyone's coming in so late, and like this, I'm on my last one now. I'm about to be on my last one now. I feel like it started happening like near the end. Oh my gosh. All right, the last one. The finance bros, stock traders, investment bankers, pretty much any man that's dealing with numbers, okay? They're obs- that movie American Psycho, I feel like that movie American Psycho is like such a good representation of men that work in finance, okay? Because I have 5G Wi-Fi. It's something with YouTube. It has to be something with YouTube. Can you guys hear me? I was talking for a long time without even noticing that it went out. But can you guys hear me? Tell me something. Put a one in the chat. Okay, yes. Okay, 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 cool. Yeah, it's something weird with YouTube because my Wi-Fi is perfect. Like, I don't know what it is tonight, but my Wi-Fi is perfect. It's 5G. It's got full bars. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, well, let me start it over. Let me start my little tirade over again with the finance folks. Okay. I already said the finance bros, they're obsessed with money, they like status, they like power, they're workaholics. Emotionally, they're void. Um, that movie American Psycho, I feel like that's really who they are. I feel like the on American Psycho, I feel like that's really who the finance bros really are, and what they're capable of. They scare me. Men that are in finance scare me. They really, really do. Um, they're very intense people, because the finance world is like very like high stress, high reward environment. And so they bring that into their relationships. Okay. They're cold, they're calculated, they're afraid of commitment. Um, sorry, let me slow down because some people are still coming up in here. I mean, we're almost done anyway, but I want to make sure I want to make sure a decent amount of people are in here. Okay, cool. That's enough. All right. They suck at having personal connections. I feel like the men in finance, they don't have any friends outside of work. They don't. They just have their people at work and then whoever it is that they're married to and their family. They don't have any fucking friends. And it's because they're emotionally void inside, okay? I feel as though they don't have any emotions. Um okay, here are some statistics. So men that like bankers, finance bro, they work like 80-hour plus weeks, and they also bring a lot of their work home with them. So that's going to give you like a really poor, or give him a really poor work life balance when it comes to him giving you attention and like being there for you and things like that. And then I looked it up. The divorce rate amount among finance professionals is 35%, with infidelity and work stress being cited as the top professions. And studies show that men in finance have higher levels of narcissism and risk taking behaviors. Obviously, you have to have high risk taking behaviors because the stock market is volatile. Okay. Numbers are volatile, numbers are always going up and down. That's also the reason why they have a lot of emotional detachment. They have to. If you're dealing with numbers and you're using numbers to make you money, you have to be emotionally detached because it's too volatile. Like, no, you'll be emotionally all over the place if you're basing your emotions off of the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so for pros, usually they're pretty successful. I mean, they're cutthroat. Men in finance are cutthroat. So they're willing to do what it is that they need to do to be successful. They don't care who they got to step on, who they have to con, who they have to wrong to be able to do well in their job. They're very, very strategic. So it's a pro for their job, but I don't know. With them being strategic, I feel like they would use it to weaponize against women, but they are well connected. They can be well connected. Depending on what field you're in, you could use that to your advantage. For cons, they're emotionally unavailable, pretty much like how I explained already. They are addicted to competition. They are addicted to power, and they have a high likelihood of infidelity due to their work, if they travel, social settings, social dynamics, things like that. And I have, for warning signs, I have, like I said before, men that work in finance, they are always, they have to bring their work home with them most of the time. So they're going to answer work emails at dinner, in bed. Um, they'll fucking pick up their phone while they're sleeping with you. They're sleeping with you. Ooh, 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 and the phone's ringing. Oh, wait, baby. Ooh, ooh, hello. Something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them. They won't leave their work alone at all. They're obsessed with their work. They are obsessed with status. They are obsessed with wealth. I worked not too far away from Wall Street when I was living in New York City. So I know these finance bros very well. Very, very well. Okay. Um, and then also they get offers for like business trips or whatever from work. Those business trips, they're clients, okay? Those are just other fucking women or women that they meet while they go on the business trip or whatever. And they're just cheating and they're just using the company money to get other women and to get the attention of other women. It's totally disingenuous. Totally disingenuous. Okay. That's it. I did all 10. I did all 10. So yeah, pretty much between yesterday's live and today's live, it's not very many it's really not any occupations left, to be honest. It's not. Um Probably not tomorrow. I think I'm going to break up the series because then I think maybe I'll do like a green flag one for professions. But I don't What are your thoughts of men in shady business like drug dealers? I stay away from them at all costs. Men that scam, men that deal drugs, men that do any illegal activities. The only reason why they want to deal with a woman is because when they get in trouble, when they want you to take the charge for them. They want you to be their ride or die. That's the reason why those men are dealing with women. They want someone to take the fall for them. They want you to take the charge. Like, remember Jennifer Lopez and P. Diddy? Remember Jennifer Lopez and P. Diddy when they were together? When they had that nightclub incident with the gun, he made Jennifer Lopez carry his gun for him. He made Jennifer Lopez carry his gun for him. So now, whenever this shit goes to trial, Jennifer Lopez will be an accomplice. Like Jennifer Lopez, although it's been like 2 decades later, Jennifer Lopez is going to be an accomplice in this still because they have proof that Jennifer Lopez knew about. I'm not going to say the word. I don't know if YouTube will let me say it, but Jennifer Lopez knew about the pew pew and she held it for him. That's the reason why he gave it to her. And supposedly he threatened her. Like supposedly he threatened her for her to carry it so that she was forced to carry it. I stay far away from men that are criminals. I don't care how much money they're raking in. I don't care how much money they're giving you, the car they're driving, the places they're taking you. You are playing with fire when you are dealing with a man who is doing any type of criminal activity. I don't know how women deal with men that are criminals. I just can't. I can't do it. Mm-mm. Because one thing about me, baby, I'm calling the police on your ass. Okay, I'm calling the police on your ass. I don't play them games. I don't play them games. Exactly. You ain't finna have me in no shootout. You ain't finna have me having to answer no questions to the police. I'm not getting myself involved in any of that. And the sad thing about it is that a lot of these men that do this criminal activity, they're with women who have something to lose. From my experience, nurses are always with drug dealers. It's always nurses. It's always medical professionals that are with drug dealers. Always. It's like, girl, you have a degree. You have a license. Your license could be taken away dealing with this fool. And you like, are you crazy? Like, are you crazy? So no, it's a no for me. I would stay very, very, very far away unless you feel like potentially catching a charge or going to jail. I know women who dealt with drug dealers and they went to jail with their boyfriend that was a drug dealer. They both went to jail and they took the charge. They had to get their P tested. They had to have a parole officer, all of that, all because they're dealing with a criminal. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're a woman, okay? You're too pretty to be in jail. You're too pretty and well put together to deal with men that are doing that illegal activity. I'm sorry. What about men who work in real estate investing? I mean, it's still volatile. It's still volatile. It's still high risk behavior. They still have to have clients and people that they talk to. Um, and they're cunning still. I mean, they are. They're still going to be cunning. I still feel as though it all kind of falls under the same umbrella because you have to have the same type of you have to have the same type of mentality even in investing. You have to have the same type of mentality. So I really don't think it's much different. Oh no, sea air jail in the forecast. She left him Irv, who just passed, and Ashanti too. Yeah, that's very interesting. It always ends in death or jail. Yes. Oh hell no. And they're abusive. Exactly. They not gonna get me shot. Are the nurses money hungry or risk takers? The reason why they are with criminals. Okay, so I feel as though it's nurses want to save everybody. Okay. Like that's really what I feel like it comes down to. Nurses take care of people for a living. Like they literally save lives. And I feel as though they don't only want to save the lives of those that are sick, they want to save the lives of those that are broken. So they really are like, oh, they can change them. I want to help him. I want to show him the way. No. Mm-mm. That's what his mama was supposed to do. If he's a grown adult and he ended up selling drugs, that's his mama's problem. That's a reflection. It's not 100% a reflection of his mama, but that's his mama's problem. His mama should be teaching him the way and cleaning up those messes, not you. Because you got a whole license, you got a whole degree, you did clinicals, you had those senior nurses talking shit about you and everything. I did do actors and I did do entertainers on the list. I did. I put actors and entertainers on the list. They are definitely on the list. I even broke it down. I did actors and then I did musicians. I broke them down separately. And yeah, the entertainment industry, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, exactly. They have a savior complex usually. Yeah, nurses, I could change him. I could change him. Girl, no, you can't. No, you can't. I know you can work some miracles on them patients, but baby, them criminals, no. You can't work magic on no criminal child. You can't. Are the nurses money hungry or risk takers? Okay, I answered that already. Well, clearly they're risk takers. They're clearly risk takers. They're risking their whole livelihood for a man. They're risking their whole livelihood for a man. Like, uh-uh. Mm-mm. I didn't do male nurses because yesterday I did like surgeons and anesthesiologists. Is damn near the same thing, but male nurses, they're just as bad. Male nurses are just as bad. Men, excuse me, men that become male nurses, they just want a supply of women to sleep with, honestly. They just want a supply of women to sleep with. Unless the male nurse is gay, okay, unless the male nurse is gay, no, men aren't naturally nurturing. They're not naturally nurturing like that, most of them. So I feel like most male nurses, they have nefarious tendencies, and I feel like they want the high pay. They want the high pay, and then along with the high pay, they want to be able to bang other women. In movie Fair Play, man becomes abusive in R-wording his partner who gets promotion over him in finance. Yeah. Yeah. So I will do a video over career choice green flags. It's not that many, honestly. It's really not that many. Um I would say therapists and I would say teachers, okay? Um just as long as he doesn't coach any teams, okay? Yeah, because the coaches, if he's a teacher and he's a coach, but at least if he's a teacher and he's teaching, because this is another thing too, he has to teach like middle school or something. Okay. If he's a high school teacher, if he's a college professor, no, no. But usually teachers, when they're dealing with like middle schoolers, they have to have a lot of patience. They have to have a lot of emotional intelligence. They have to have a lot of understanding. So on the emotional front, um, they won't be as dismissive. You know what I mean? Like there's a man that I know that he's a teacher. Um Now granted, he ain't over here emotional like a woman. You know what I mean? He's still a man at the end of the day. He can't match no woman when it comes to, empathy and things like that. However, compared to most men, like I could actually like tell him things and like he can't have a level of empathy and like give me feedback and things like that. And then men who are in therapy, I dated a man that was a therapist and he was cool as hell. The only issue is that he was balding and I know that that's like he was a little younger than me. And at the time he was living at his parents cuz he was a little younger than me and I didn't like that, so that turned me off. But he was in therapy and he was super nice, super respectful, good guy, like honestly he was cool. But physically I just wasn't attracted to him enough. I wasn't attracted to him enough. This is true. I went on a date with a nurse. He admitted he wanted to be a nurse to sleep with women. Crazy. I'm telling you, men, you just have to understand male nature. Once you understand male nature, everything will make sense to you. Men are not naturally nurturers. They're not. That's the reason why men can walk away so easily from their own children. You mean to tell me men can walk away from their own children and then they want to take care of sick people? You mean to tell me the same gender of people that walk away from their own flesh and blood are the same men that are racing to go take care of people? No, there is another reason why they're going into that job. It's for money and for women. It's a female dominated field. They have plenty of supply. Plenty of supply. It's a high stress. Those ladies and those men at work, they want to find a way to relieve their stress. And it ain't a whole lot of men working that they can choose to help them relieve their stress. So a male nurse is going to have all these women throwing their punani at them. I've always wanted a military guy, but the horror stories just listen. If you get you a military guy, you should only sleep with him. Don't get you no military guy thinking that y'all need to be in a relationship, y'all need to get married, y'all need to tie the knot and have children. No, military men are for recreational use only. They're only good for the bedroom. Okay, that's it. They like to be controlling. They can do all that controlling and dominating stuff in the bedroom. Outside of that, yes, and always use protection, no matter who you're with. But we talked about that yesterday on live, how the military men, they're gay. They're gay. Hi. They're very, very gay. So you have to be careful with them. The male nurses I met were feminine and too friendly with other women. Yeah. Like I said, that's the whole reason why they're in the profession in the first place is to screw women. That's it. Soccer is just as dangerous as well. Mm, okay, are there any more questions? If there's no more questions, um, any questions you have, going ahead and just type them because we're gonna wrap this up shortly. I've gotten thousands from a young military guy. He was like a cyber SD, but never slept with that fool. He was a hot mess. Listen, the easiest way to take men's money is to just do it through online. That's the easiest way because you don't have to necessarily worry about them turning crazy and like stalking you. Um, yeah, I mean, unless they make fake numbers and like hack into your shit or whatever. But on a physical level, you won't have to worry about them. I like to get money from men through the internet. Okay, like, I like to do it that way. Just never meet me and just send me money. I talked about male doctors yesterday. Watch the video from yesterday. Currently talking to a firefighter, paramedic is that bad. I talked about them yesterday. Doctor, so it doctor, military, um, doctor, military, firefighter slash first responder, construction worker. Who else did I talk about yesterday? Mm, I talked about all those though yesterday. So watch the video from yesterday. What if women went into male dominated fields for supply? Good idea or bad idea thoughts? It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea because it's not the same. When a woman goes into a male dominated field, men are territorial. Men are territorial. So, and they men don't have respect for women. Men only see women for what they're useful for. They only see us as an object. They only see us as a tool. So, it doesn't work the same. It's a bad idea to do that because men are going to make your life a living hell in most cases in a male dominated field because they're territorial over their space. And when it's all men, they have a code. They talk any old kind of way about women. So now you're a woman coming in and now you're ruining all their fun because now they have to censor themselves. They can't talk shit about their wives. If you want to know how men really are, go work in a male dominated field and you'll see. They'll sexually harass you. They'll complain about their wives. They will cheat on their wives with you. If you want to see how men really are, go work in a male dominated field. I would not recommend it. I did it and I'll never fucking do it again. I'll never do it again. Yes, I love long distance arrangements. I don't want to spend time with these fools. Me either. Send me the money and leave me alone. Some men thought I was catfishing with my own pictures. Okay, and who cares? Send the money. Send the money. Shit, you catfishing with your pictures. Come on. These men, this is the thing. A lot of these men, they will call it catfishing. They will call it catfishing just to humble you and be like, "Well, you don't look how your pictures look." They're just trying to humble you. They're just trying to humble you. Everyone knows no one looks the same with makeup on as they do without makeup on. Unless you have on a fucking crazy ass filter to the point where like your nose is invisible, you're gonna look the same. Ain't nobody out here catfishing like that unless they're using a completely different person, or they're lying about their age or something. But a lot of the time these men are out here claiming that women are catfishing them. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're just doing that to humble you. Oil rig workers, that's a very masculine field. Very I don't want to say dirty, but it is like a very dirty field. um I would put oil rig workers under construction workers, essentially. I talked about construction workers on yesterday's video, so go back and go back and watch the video from yesterday. I talk about construction workers. They're the same. They fall under the same category as oil rig workers. That's why Princella is also very knowledgeable about the male nature. She also was a tomboy. She knows men better than they know them damn selves. Yes. Does your take on men therapists apply to mental health professions broadly, psychiatrists or psychologists, psychiatrists, etc.? Yes, but here's the thing. The only thing about men that work in mental health is that the literature and like their teaching, a lot of that shit is misogynistic. Like you have to think women were getting lobotomies when they weren't being submissive, okay? Like they legit were giving lobotomies to women, and like um they will commit women to mental rehabilitation. Like, I mean, how do you think these female celebrities are in conservatorships? Britney Spears, Mariah Carey was almost in a conservatorship. These are men that are pretty much signing off on these women, calling them crazy pretty much. Calling them crazy pretty much. So that's the only thing. Like Freud was like a huge misogynist, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing. That's like the only like potential con, is that when they do work in that type of line of work, some of that teaching, it can actually be rooted in misogyny. So hopefully that's something that man has unpacked. Have you talked about men who nag? I need to binge watch your videos. I have a video about men that humble women, and I'm almost certain that I talked about negging on there because I talked about different types of ways that men humble women, and I talked about negging on there. So yes, I do have a video about that. They say that without seeing me in person yet. See, exactly. They're just saying it to humble you. Like they're just saying it to be an asshole. How do you have proof of someone catfishing you and you haven't met the person? Like if you're long distance, what do you expect? And then you could say, okay, well then FaceTime me. If you think I'm catfishing you, FaceTime me. And then call their bluff. Call their bluff. They want to see your catfishing. Okay, well then FaceTime me. They can't believe I'm on a dating app. That's weird. Psychiatrists are doctors, so be careful. Exactly. They can't believe I'm a real person. That's why they say I'm catfishing. Well, that's cool. Just say, "Hey, FaceTime me. I'm a real person. I exist." Yes, they were not ethical regulations on any psychological research until the 60s. Before that, it was pretty much free game. Yeah, that's the drawback of men that work. That is the one drawback of dealing with therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, all of that research that was done, heavily misogynistic, heavily misogynistic. I just read somewhere that Wendy Williams hasn't been able to leave her place for over a month. It's terrible what they're doing to that woman. It's terrible what they're doing to that woman. Saying that she has dementia. Wendy Williams does not have dementia. They're literally painting her out to be mentally ill and sick and to make her be this decrepit person so they can rob her, so they can take all of her money. It's terrible. It's terrible to witness. Free Wendy, okay? Free Wendy. This is what happens to women when you're honest. This is what happens to women when you tell the truth. All of this is happening because of P. Diddy. P. Diddy has went after Wendy Williams time and time and time again. Like Wendy Williams has, or Diddy has literally sent, allegedly, let me say allegedly, because I ain't trying to get sued, allegedly, Diddy had like sent people to go like try to beat up Wendy Williams. There's like when he was on the Wendy Williams show, he tried to like spook Wendy Williams by saying that he met her son and it visibly spooked her. It's terrible what they're doing to that woman, all because she is out here exposing the truth and has wanted to expose the truth with what these men and what these people are doing in the industry. Wendy knew way too fucking much, and now she's having to pay the price for it. Yep, they don't want Wendy telling their business. Exactly. Exactly. So they have her caged up. They have her caged up. Yeah, exactly. They use unflattering photos of her to prove their point. Exactly. A lot of people say that this all was sprawled up, like, when she passed out on her show, her health declining. She lost a bet and she ate a crow. She ate a crow on live TV. And a lot of people speculate that her eating that crow was like a bad omen, pretty much. It was like a bad omen that was put onto her like life and career, because everything pretty much started to like spiral out of her life after she ate that crow on her TV show. And yes, male therapists can be covert narcissists. Freud was on Snow while he created all of his theories. I believe it, child. I believe it, child. I 100% believe it. All right, y'all, we're going to end this live. We are going to end this live. Let me wait for any last few messages to come through just in case. All right, ladies. Good night, my lovely sovereign sisters. Per usual, don't forget to just give a little like before you hop out of here. And then if you're catching the live stream late, going ahead and hop in the comments and say hi. Tell me what you thought. And HVAC professionals is it's under construction worker, dang near. I can't do every single profession, guys. I can't. We'll be here all day if I do every profession. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to wrap this up. And my lovely sovereign sisters, I love you all, and I hope you all have a great evening. Bye.